For McDonald's, welcome to the Triple MCG. Big game today, Collingwood's home game against North Melbourne. The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M continues to rock football. JB is with me today. Wayne Carey is here, Bernie Vince is here, Ash is here, and of course Jay-Z is here. So we're all ready to go, looking forward to this game. Haven't seen a lot of North, looking forward to seeing how they're going. Have heard they're not going all that well. So we'll have a look at the Pies as well today. Ash, as I welcome you, good afternoon and welcome.
Yes, good afternoon, BT. Well, the Magpies, they are going well.
Hang on, are you excited today, Ash? You're here to watch your beloved?
I am, and I reckon that North will be competitive today for 3 quarters.
Their side is actually not bad.
It's not bad, virtually at full strength, I reckon, BT.
All right, what have we got in the Red Z Lenders?
Except for the number one pick.
Except for the number 1 pick, yes, that's right. And, of course, Ben Cunnington. But,
No, Horn Francis, that is true.
Yeah, no, I said that. Yeah. Well, I was...
Hey, you two, just calm down back there. He's starting early.
He's been prickled by some text messages from Ginnivan that I believe have not been that positive. Anyway.
You're just not across the world at all, are you?
No, because you know what? I have more to my life than football.
So what happened, BT, is 2 Friday nights ago, Hamish was interviewing Jack Ginnivan.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, Duck doesn't like the way you kick around the corners, blah, blah, blah. He said, would you like Duck to give you... He said, I'd love a text.
Oh, yes.
So I sent him a text during the week and had a bit of fun around it, and he sent me a reply.
Yeah, and the reply said...
That is... I'll never do it again. Thanks for the support.
He's very
No, I don't think that's the truth.
Do you want me to show you?
Something wrong with him. I'm not sure that's
he's trying to doctor
the way it sort of went. Ash.
This is why I think North will be competitive. I mean, I know Collingwood have won their past 6, but it's been by an average winning margin of only 14 points.
Jack's not happy.
He's going to be in that sort of mood today that anything we say, we are going to get absolutely nailed.
BT, we don't want to lose him early on a day like this.
Well, I hope you don't make too many mistakes today.
Do you want some more Red Zeds?
Just on that, by the way, I will make a couple of mistakes today. Because
I'll be all over him.
I'm actually human.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes. I've never seen anyone do the perfect call, so I'm looking forward to make a couple of mistakes. Ash, what about you?
Well, I've made many over the journey, that's for sure. It's in Bernie's Nuffy's file as well. But this is a concern for North, though, one of many, but averaging 54 points per game. That's the equal lowest points scored. That's in full-length quarters in their 98-year history. The last time was back in 1930. And the territory, BT... 18th for inside 50 differential. Past 4 matches, only averaging 36 entries per game, which is 16 below the league average. Past 6.
Remarkable.
They've lost the inside 50 count by 31. But a shining light is Davies Uniacke. Past 4 matches, number 1 rated player at the Kangas, averaging a career-high 28 disposals and 5 clearances. And look out for Nick Dacos. He's been racking up 33 past 4.
The Red Z Lenders, and I see a replacement umpire, Brent Wallace, a withdrawal today. Eleni Glufsis has got the shirt out there, so she's in the go. Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Goodyear, Yokohama, Mitchell and Dunlop, and many more. BobJane.com.au. Jay-Z, good afternoon, welcome to you.
Yes, good afternoon, BT. Very cool conditions down here, boundary side, and a chance of a shower throughout the game. Hopefully the rain stays away. The Bureau of Meteorology saying there is an 80% chance of rain today. There was a shower earlier. Could be a little bit slippery to begin with, but we know this ground does dry very, very well. Hey, debutant for the Pies today, Josh Carmichael, been a big-time ball winner over there at the Sandful, averaging 24 possessions for the Pies VFL team. Some clubs had a query on his 2-way running, whether he could defend in that capacity. So that's the query for some clubs, but he certainly knows how to find the footy. Jaden Stevenson, watching him earlier up against his old team, bit of a handshake, spent some time with some of his younger former teammates. 25 possessions last weekend against the Cats, been named on a half-back flank, kicked only 1 goal for the season. The subs, as we mentioned earlier, Tyler Brown for Collingwood and Jack Marnie for North Melbourne, BT.
Jay-Z, are you doing specials today or down-the-ground comments?
I like to mix it up sometimes, BT, a bit of both.
Super special comments. Here they are, Bernie, Vince and Duck. What do you think, guys?
Oh, it's a big day today for North Melbourne. We're all come here to see how they respond from that big loss last week, because that was an absolute belting. And on paper, they're not as bad. They shouldn't be putting out as bad an effort as what they are. So some concerns there. All look to the start here. Collingwood, obviously in great form, won the last 6 in a row. Averaging in the last 6 matches against just 64 points. So that's second in the competition, defending the ground really well. North Melbourne is just a concern. Watching last week and the past couple of weeks, kicking efficiency terrible.
Well, they have to get the ball inside 50, give their forwards at least a chance.
Yeah,
It
well,
was a record low last week. But
Yep.
their effort in terms of their attack on the footy and everything else has actually been quite sound. I thought they were solid in that area, but structurally they fall down and they're just not getting the ball forward. So they played a game where they just tried to play keepy-offs.
Hugh Greenwood's one for me. I think he needs to step up a bit. Came here with big expectations, had a really quiet season, so we're watching him closely today.
Yep. Going to the punt road end, the Pies, and the last 5 games between these two sides, they've averaged 51,000. I suspect a bit short of that at the moment, probably in the high 30s, maybe the early 40s at absolute best. We're ready to go. Coleman Jones in the middle, ready to take on Cameron of Collingwood. The Pies to the punt road end. Here's James Brayshaw on Triple M Football.
Saturday afternoon, traditional slot, couple of Melbourne clubs, we love it. Umpire taking a very long time to bounce the ball. Eventually he does, it's a good one. Coleman Jones down. Little one from Cameron. Davies Uniacke in really good form, strips it away. Long ball inside 50. And Goldstein, I thought it might have been Lark to come from behind him, but Big Gold hangs on to a very nice contested mark about 30 out.
Oh, great take there. That's the start you want after coming off a big loss last week. Centre bounce clearance into the forward 50. And Goldstein, as you said, Jim, has started forward. So exciting start here. Needs to go back and kick this, though. Coleman Jones starting in the ruck.
I don't want to mozzie him, but he's kicked 10-1 from set shots.
To the city end goes Big Todd Goldstein. It's looking okay. It's there. Good start, North. They get around him.
Have a look at him.
One straight. Collingwood obviously yet to score. Game's only about 40 seconds old on the Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Geez, it was just a great clearance. I mean, when you win the ball out of the centre like that, I love the fact that you just get it in there quickly. So Goldstein just gets a really good run and jump at it. Not exactly a one-on-one, a bit of a pack formed if you look at the Harvey Norman, but really good hands.
Great start and good faith to start Coleman Jones in the ruck and put Goldie forward. Tough matchup up there and he can hit the scoreboard. So perfect start for North Melbourne. You see how much it means to them. See how many players, everyone came from defence and everything to get around Goldstein, create some energy here. Haven't had any of that in the past few weeks.
Indeed they did. Eleni Glypsis to bounce the ball in the middle and get it going again after a minute of play. And it's a very ordinary bounce, and we'll throw it up again in the middle and give the ruckman equal chance.
New turf bristle.
Yes, new patch of turf in the middle, JB, covering that centre circle area. That'll be good for finals time. Opportunity for Cameron, free kick and advantage paid to Collingwood out of the middle. Taylor Adams' kick not so good. It targeted and missed the target, and Young takes the mark for the Kangas. Kangas to the city end. Young's ball a bit short for Greenwood. Had to make hard work of it. Greenwood got it to Davies Uniacke through the middle of the ground. Simpkins got hold of it. Good smother mid-air. Ricochet ball back to Lipinski. Got it here. A little handball over the top to Cock. Had to go down low. He tried to turn the corner instead of giving the handball back. He got nailed in the tackle, Big Cox. Now it comes out to McCreary. On to Dacos. Josh Dacos from 30 kicks the first for the Collingwood Football Club. One straight apiece. 2:30 into the first. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Oh, Josh Simpkin, he was out. They won a free kick. A big ball, actually. Greenwood won just across half back there. Fed it off to Simpkin, and they were out going forward. Goldie one-on-one inside 50. Just took a bit too long. He got smothered. He's number one in the AFL for kick clangers. There's another one to him, but ball ricocheted to Collingwood. Nice handball off and a nice finish there from Dacos, but I just thought they'd done enough to tackle Big Cox when he turned around. The ball spilled out, but this is what you can't do. Give opposition opportunities.
Well, it's a big moment, isn't it? Because you're going through the middle of the ground. Everyone's going forward. Everyone's thinking that this ball is going to go inside forward 50, and then it gets turned over. And the pressure was good enough, but I'll tell you what, Dacos is in, not just Nick, but Josh is in some pretty good form.
Goal apiece. Elliott broken up by Greenwood. Streams away, flicks the handball over the top to Anderson. North go inside forward 50. Zerha, the kick had too much on it anyway, and it carried him. And Brozzy Maynard out of play. About 10 around from North's city end goal, maybe 15 around. Goal apiece.
Greenwood, another centre bounce clearance there. Spoke about him pre-game. I loved his start, loved his intensity around the footy.
Cameron and Coleman Jones doing the ruck work. Forward pocket here for North Melbourne. Cameron working it to the boundary. Quainer was there, couldn't get hold of it. In the end, Rusco did. Got it off to side bottom, banged it out towards half-back flank. Cox couldn't mark the ball. Plenty of roos around. Davey Zuniak farmed out the handball out the back door. But lots of Collingwood jumpers here, and this one, Crisp, got boot to ball while being tackled with the other one. Little handball comes to Stevenson. He was hot immediately. Taken to the ground, Stevenson. He'll need to get rid of it. He did. Just hit time. Gee, Crisp got hit a little bit high. Umpire calls play on. Young's been very aggressive in this whole passage out there. And the ball up on centre wing, southern stand side. Tiny bit of sunshine left on that southern stand side here today.
Ball up. Gardner, Coleman, Jones. Pendlebury, Davey Zuniak, and umpire blows it dead.
Saw big Benny Mackay start forward against Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. Trialled it again last week for a couple of quarters. He's starting back now today, though.
Another clearance for Davey Zuniak. Gets it to half forward. Zerha worked his way through, tumbles it inside 50. Zeeble arches the back, flicks a handball to Scott. Nearly ran over a dove. And the ball goes out 45 from North's goal.
Callum Darcy, thank you.
Pigeon.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a pigeon.
That pigeon hasn't moved.
Well, he's turned it into a dove.
He's going to get crunched.
Landing on it.
It hasn't moved, Jim. It's going to get crunched.
Not good.
I wouldn't have thought a lot of doves here. Fairly,
that dove might be here.
Attractive place for the odd pigeon or two.
I liked it.
They have got pigeon sirens here. They don't like them sitting too long in the one spot. There's Murphy charging out of the back pocket on the northern side. Curtis Taylor did well, the boy out of the Calder Cannons footy factory over the line, out of bounds goes from Mackay, and he disposed of it illegally. So McCreary wins the free here. Just backward of centre wing as they approach the interchange area. Remember, Collingwood going to the punt road end in their first quarter. McCreary.
Mackay's had to stand the mark here, so Cox is out on his own here.
And that's exactly where they go. It's Cox against Core. Should have won it in the air. Pendlebury at ground level. Greenwood wore him like a glove. Greenwood went and got a little handball to Stevenson. Stevenson overlap. Bit of a wobbler kick. Pretty ordinary in the end. And Murphy, I think it is. No, it's Rusco that takes the mark just back of the centre circle.
And sees Hoskin Elliott, likes him out wide. Wants to draw side bottom. He gets corralled by Stevenson, then gets around way too easily and jams it down the throat of Elliott. Jamie Elliott from 45, punt road end.
Again, off the back of another clanger, he had more time. Jaden Stevenson, again, a player that's going at really low kicking efficiency, 52% this year, but he's a better kick than that. He just rushed it, turned it over, shot on goal against.
Elliott wanting someone to come at him, then he just popped it into the hole. Cameron couldn't hang on, nearly did. Stevenson again to bring it away, kicked straight into his own man, and then Ginnivan drags a high free.
He gets at least one of those every week.
Yep. Again, though, Jaden Stevenson,
Yeah.
a couple of kicks in a row where he just needed to clear it, get it out wide, even if he goes high and long and it's an Oppo mark, at least it clears the area. Kicked it into the back of his own player, can you believe, and then gave the free kick away.
Well, in the end, yes, Ginnivan lowered himself, but in the end it was a sloppy attempt at tackle.
It's just lazy attempt.
So Ginnivan with the set shot. For the second for Collingwood, and he gets it. They are two straight. North Melbourne one straight. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
No, he's on the wrong side, Duck, but he might have listened to that text message, BT.
Yeah.
He went back and kicked the drop punt. Beautiful kick.
Stock standard.
He was on the wrong side to do it.
That's why I said it.
I'll tell you what, he's equal first for free kicks, isn't he? For goals, Two-Man?
Yeah, spot on, Duck.
Yeah, so
Free kicks that result in goals.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be looked at directly, I reckon, by the AFL. They're very, very hot on people slumping to get this exact free.
It was good defensive pressure, though, from Ginnivan. He deserved that.
it still, as Bernie said, it still was a lazy
No, it was, but it's the habit of doing it that the AFL want players to get out of.
That's providing my thing on that is providing you've won the ball and then you go down. If you're going down to win the ball,
that's different.
and I think people get mixed up with that sometimes as well.
Good point.
So 2-1, and Lenny Gluffs is to the middle with the ball. Goldstein wins the tap down, his first little dig in the ruck. Out of the middle they come with the ball, long from Powell. High mark taken here, and be a set shot at goal from Zerha.
Another
Zerha's marked 50 out directly in front.
Another centre clearance from Hugh Greenwood. He's getting really busy in there. Up to 4 disposals so far already. Second centre bounce clearance. Both resulted in shots on goal.
They've been good in there, centre clearances.
18 goals for the year. Cam Zerha. City end. 51 metres, distance okay, accuracy good. Both sides have kicked a couple of goals each here on the Repco scoreboard.
Well, that's the difference when you finish goals like that. And as soon as he kicked that, he just started running to the crowd, started running to the wing. I thought he was coming off, but he was celebrating. You love that. They look like they've got a real energised group here. As soon as that, it must have been a focus before the game. As soon as we get a goal, as soon as we do anything well, let's get around each other. We've been zapped of so much energy this whole season. I don't know how many losses in a row now are we up to, Ash? 13. So when you're in that sort of form slump, which is a lot of losses in a row, I didn't think it was that many. Did he?
Average losing margin of 63 points.
Oh, geez, he's still going.
Almost cut Bernie's question off.
I'll stop, Ash. You just pile on us.
But they're winning the contested ball. They're at +5. They're ranked 16th. And guess what? The territory as well. 4-2 are the entries north way.
I like that.
Back in the middle, Goldstein high, got it down to Powell.
Another centre bounce.
Gave it back to Goldstein. He runs a bit of an arc, gets around Cameron, back to Powell. Now they go to Stevenson, who didn't really want to know. He got out of the grips of Ginnivan a little too easily. Look away now to Curtis Taylor, who runs in and bangs on another one. 3 goals now for the Kangaroos. Curtis Taylor got on the end of it. Nice finish from him. They are 3 straight, Collingwood are 2 straight. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
And what was great about that, so another centre clearances, so it's 4-1, so dominating. And every time they win a centre clearance, they have given themselves an opportunity. But what I loved about this passage is they're all clean. The handballs hit the target. They weren't perfect, but they, to their teammates' advantage, and that enabled him to have an easy shot on goal, and that's a really good finish.
J.C. Clark.
David Noble been a massive story in recent weeks. He's down on the interchange bench with the North Melbourne players. Been very positive with his interactions so far to start this one. You mentioned Luke Davies, a hot start. Big pat on the back for him. Jeff Walsh, of course, is doing the review. Expected to be up in the North Melbourne coach's box today.
Will it be a typed review or will it be handwritten, do you think, Jay-Z?
I think just whatever Walshy says goes.
Davies Uniacke out of the middle with another whopping clearance. A bit of a shallow entry and very wide for North this time. Out on the boundary line trying to gather the ball is Spicer. Boundary line beating. Over line and out of bounds. We'll throw it in on the old practice wicket area.
Another centre clearance, and not just a centre clearance, a centre clearance going deep inside 50. They're just waltzing it out there. Davies Uniacke again that time. Greenwood's been busy in there. Certainly need to look at that, the Pies.
Boundary umpire taking a long time to get the ball back in. Goldstein trying to flick it out the back to Zurhar. Missed him in the end. Little kick here from the Pies. Mackay falls over. Myercheck keeps running. Southern stand centre wing. Kick back inside. Looking for Ginnivan. And McDonald takes the nice mark at half back for the Roos.
Inside 50s, North Melbourne 6, Collingwood just the 2. Been in twice, but 2 goals.
They go corridor. Perez gets it from Greenwood. Long one inside 50. Zeeble at the back. Ball didn't quite get to him. Quainer. Josh Dacos. Back down to Murphy. And Murphy distributes towards the members' wing. McCreary just couldn't hang on. The look-away handball. Josh Dacos keeps the footy in. Goes back to the first gamer in Carmichael. And he's taken in a really good tackle. Holding the ball, Paul Curtis.
Dacos apologising for giving him that one, JB.
And Curtis goes with a really poxy ball. Kicked it to 4 Collingwood players. Murphy took it.
Poor entry, but really good pressure from North Melbourne. Just getting at the ball carrier, kept getting at him. Wasn't the first tackle, it was the second or third that got him.
Lipinski dropped a really easy mark that he got off Dacos, and then Dacos wasn't that happy to stick his head over the footy. Little handball out the back from Jeremy Howe. Murphy around the corner. Davies Uniacke takes a good mark. He's just outside 50 here, just out of range. Wants it one out in the square. Here they go, the Kangas, looking for and finding Larkey. He'll get the free against Murphy. Got him a little high-ish. Might have had the arms around him. And a difficult set shot at goal for Larkey, about 3 metres inside the boundary line, about 20 out.
Geez, LDU, 6 disposals, 3 clearances, and that was a really good kick to Larkey's advantage.
Smart.
And that's why he draws the free kick.
The total opposite to the last inside 50 that kicked the 4 numbers. They had numbers back, but he just weighted it perfectly to allow Larkey to run onto it.
Going with the drop punt here from a severe angle. Kick of about 15 metres. He just sort of gave it a little flick and he's kicked the goal. So North have got their 4th goal in 13 minutes of football. In fact, 4 straight to Collingwood, 2 straight. on the Triple M Repco scoreboard.
Well, it's hard to imagine. They only kicked 5 goals for the whole game last week, Duck, and they've come out of the blocks with a real purpose today. I've loved everything they've done, especially around the stoppage. In particular, the centre bounce. They're just waltzing out. What's the centre bounce clearances, Ash?
5-1 North's way.
What they have after inside 50s last week, too, man. It was something ridiculously low after quarter time.
All-time low.
So already
9 they've had so
9
far.
entries, I think about 25 last week.
Yes.
And just their goal scoring efficiency as well. They've been very inefficient, North. 44%, 9 entries for 4 majors. League average is 23.
So bright start, North Melbourne. Long way to go, of course. Goldstein, Cox, beautifully down to Adams. There's the centre clearance for the Maggies. Long and deep too. Got past Ginnivan, Aiden Core. Got to track this footy back. Gave it to McDonald, who shrugs the tackle of Henry.
They did well.
And a good ball for Scott. Scott wants to go on the 45 to Anderson. Good ball inside D50. Anderson on the left. That's good too to Coleman Jones. Gives it off. Young, I think it was, lurking off half-back. Zeeble. Good hands from him at half-forward. Wants to go quickly. Kicked it straight into Maynard. Now Quainer off half-back for Collingwood's just got a float. A sack forward. Henry actually he's just hacked it out of the air, but Dacos in a good spot.
He did. Little handball to Lipinski. Lipinski goes wide and now back in the hands of Dacos. This is Josh. Neat little ball to Henry. Henry's marked 75 from the punt road end. Neither of these sides have kicked it behind yet, and they've got 6 goals between them. Dacos goes into Myercheck. Myercheck marks in front of Mackay on the lead. Deep in the pocket. And about 35 to 40 metres out.
The skipper for North is saying sorry. Yeah, very hard to kick a drop punt when you're running backwards.
Yeah, and you've come off the mark 2 feet when when Maynard's on the mark, almost smothering you already. So just the little things.
Myercheck going around the corner, Burn.
Oh boy, you might need a text message, BT.
Punt road end. Kick on the way, going to bend early. Way early.
Jeez.
A text could fix him. 2-1-13 to the Kangaroos, 4 straight 24 on the Triple M Repco scoreboard.
He got some distance on that snap.
Good mark taken by Paul Curtis. Nice hitch and grab. Very poor kick though. Cut off by Noble. Trying to find Larkey down the line. Noble playing against his dad's team. Weird. Don't know how many times that's happened. Long ball inside 50. Cox in the area. It's dumped away from him back to Curtis. And Curtis kicks it straight back to Noble. 2 horrible kicks. Noble now to Adams. And Adams inside 50. Almost Elliott. Powell had a little piece. Anderson came in, picked it up. Flicked a bad handball to Bonner. And Bonner's going to take that over. Or Core's going to take it over. One or the other. 25-30 around from Collingwood's goal.
Throw it back into play here.
Just having a little bit of a bad patch for turnovers at the minute, the Kangaroos.
Having a look at the Harvey Norman screen today, Jeff Walsh sitting in the North Melbourne box, but David Noble operating downstairs. Interesting. Wonder if Noble had gone up, whether Jeff would have gone down. Interesting. Davey Zuniak into the middle, setting up Zeeble. Should mark, does.
Get off the mark.
Down.
We'll give it.
Got a couple either side. They didn't know which way to go. The Pies in the end. The handball comes back to Zeeble from Anderson. They enter again in the direction of Larkey. Couldn't hold the mark. It was 2-on-1 there. No ball. Little handball out the back to Maynard. And they get out of trouble through Jeremy Howe. High footy. Should be Mark Cox. Knock on the McCreary. McCreary wondering about his left boot. Decides to bounce. He runs away from Perez. The kick inside to Ginnivan. Gee, he just ran away from him. Ginnivan will have a look from 35 out directly in front.
Jeez, he had some toe there, didn't he, against Perez. Macquarie just burnt him off down the wing here, but a big contest.
I'd love a shot behind the goal. How did Ginnivan get that much space leading up to the
look at this. Ginnivan directly in front was going to go around the corner.
Oh, he's thought about
and
the
then
text message.
It went.
He's checked his phone.
It went ding ding. Text message from the duckling saying, no, you kicked the drop punt.
Oh, no.
I'm sure it went ding ding.
Oh, no.
And he comes. Now he's confused. He's kicked it way left.
He's confused.
He doesn't know whether to kick it around the corner in the air. Torpedo along the ground. He's totally gone.
Left foot.
14 plays 24, North by 10.
Bizarre scenes.
Long ball. Broadcast side, Coleman Jones. Dacos did nicely at ground level, so did Pendlebury. Noble taken high by Lazaro.
He's little Lazaro.
Yeah, little Lazar. Noble will go back inside 50 here for the Magpies. Cox gets bundled over. Mackay takes a simple mark in the end. Big Coxie thought he'd been infringed. The umpire didn't want anything to do with it.
Big Cox definitely a bit stiff there, JB. Now Davey Zuniak goes out wide looking for Young. Couldn't hold the mark over the line, out of bounds. Simpkin there as well. 7:33 North. Looking good for North fans out there. They've kicked 4 straight to Collingwood 2-2. And there's a bit of zip about them. Here to play. Doing the ruck work, the big fella. Coleman Jones knocks it towards the boundary line. Picked up by the Pies. They bang it back inside 50. Mackay had hands on it. Nursed it over the line and out of bounds. Will throw it in.
24 plays 14. North Melbourne by 10 points. Lenny Glofsis, you can hear just instructing the ruckman. Coleman Jones to the front. Stevenson's had a real wobbly start to this game against his old mob pal. Kicked it straight into Carmichael. Got it back to Pendlebury. Now McCreary. Straight to the big boy. And Ben Mackay took a very, very simple defensive mark. He's going to have to steer the ball to the outer side. He does exactly that. Larkey trying to hang onto it in the air. I think Murphy had a piece of that. Might have been Rusco, it was. Turnover. Dacos back inside 50. Elliott and Mackay.
Got to be a free.
Got to be a free. All day long it looked like it. Elliott can't believe it.
Look at him. It's almost descent the other way. Complaining about the free kick. We'll have to see that on the replay. It looked like Ben Mackay just fell in his back and thought, well, he's going to mark it anyway. I'll just tackle him down. Here it is. Harvey Norman.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a free.
Come on, Benny.
Kangas by 10 points. Coleman Jones to the front. Snipped off here by Pendlebury. Handball to Ginnivan. Ginnivan stole it from Henry.
He took it out of his hands.
He wanted it.
Look at him.
He wanted it and he almost bundled him out with a hip and shoulder. Now Stevenson's gone up for him because Stevenson used to be the Ginnivan of Collingwood, and he's also saying you stole that from your own player for the benefit of yourself. Unbelievably, never seen before in the goal square at Punt Road End.
Well, he was in front.
Ginnivan has kicked his second.
He would have had to let
Free
it go.
through 20, 4 straight 24.
He would have had to let it go past himself.
Henry was dropping the ball to kick it through the goal.
Yes.
And McGinn just said, I actually want that for myself.
Just extracted it from his gloves.
Rarely seen footage.
Unbelievably rare.
3-2-20, 4 straight 24. Ducks, man. His whole demeanour's changed since he's known the Duck.
The texter.
Yeah. 4-point lead, North Melbourne, but Collingwood have had a very good 5-minute patch here. Set the ground issue.
Give us some low numbers for Collingwood, two-man.
Yeah, some of their guns, side bottom 2, Pendlebury 2, Nick Dacos just a 2, crisp, statless.
Coleman Jones slaps it, but into the path of Adams.
There he is, Crisp.
There is Crisper. Long inside 50 and
Got it.
coming at the footy and should have marked it. Cameron, he'll get a free anyway. 45 out.
Come on the mark, please, Ben.
Having a good season,
Thank you.
isn't he,
The marking contract.
Cameron? If, say, Brodie Grundy's available next week, though,
Well, he's probably going to be.
does he come straight back in? Does he? I know he's been out for a long time. He might have to play a game of VFL or whatever, but does he come back in as the number one?
No, he doesn't.
No. Where does he play? Does he play in this team?
15 gone.
Yes, he does.
Forward?
You would probably say a little bit more forward until he's got to earn it back.
That means Cox got to go out.
Correct.
It's a tough one, isn't it? And what he does at the end of the year is another conversation again.
Darcy Cameron, North Albany boy, played for the Claremont Football Club. They make him tough there as Cameron comes in. That looks good. Was it touched on the line? They might have a look at it. It looked good to the naked eye.
I agree.
Didn't hit the post.
It's given.
Nah.
So Collingwood hit the front 4-2 to 4 straight. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Cameron gets his first.
Well done to the goal umpire. for not calling
Yep.
for the review there. He had confidence, he was in the right spot and he called it. That's 9 of the last 10 inside 50,
Yep.
Collingwood.
And 4 of the last 5 centre bounce clearances. So we spoke about North Melbourne dominating in that area early, and that was off the back of them kicking those 4 quick goals. But it's been it's shifted, hasn't it, Duck? The momentum towards Collingwood. Another centre clearance. Taylor Adams having a big influence in there. Cox goes into the ruck now. Another inside 50, as you mentioned, and nice finish there from Cameron.
Wow, 8 goals in 23 minutes of footy, basically. Ash.
Yeah, spot on, Duck. BT, in the last 17 minutes, North just laid 2 tackles.
He wasn't ready for you, BT.
He's just excited. He's reared up in the back row.
Yeah.
Here's a handball, comes to Anderson. Anderson goes inside 50, looking for the Kangas option here. Almost taking the mark there was Zeeble coming out. Murphy crashed. Noble's got the tackle. Ball flicked out in the end. Little one here comes to Zuhar again. Grabs it. Taylor Adams rides him. Whacked the saddle on him. Pinned the ball in and under, and a ball up 20 out from the Kangaroos City end goal.
Darcy, touch, Mason, Todd.
Thrown in the air. Goldstein and Cox.
Block.
It's going to go Goldstein's way.
Oh, he said North Melbourne.
It has.
Yeah.
And Big Mace can't believe it.
No.
He's put his hand up. He thought it was his.
It was a block in the ruck, and Mace thought it was his. Now he's pointing at the screen. And that would have got you a fitting earlier in the year.
Please, thank you.
So Big Gold has already got one.
He's moving on the mark as well.
No, he's given up on this, Mace. Goldstein for a second, and he kicks it horribly.
A bit of trash talk from Big
And a
Coxie.
bit of trash from Coxie as well. He's good at that. 1 point lead, Collingwood.
He's running around like a big stag at the moment, Coxie.
He ran past Gold, he gave him a big shove and took off and said, well, you got to chase me now.
4 doves out on the ground there as well.
They're all together.
Fantail.
Yeah.
Little fantail doves. Look
There
at
they
that. Nice little tails as Pendlebury marks at half back. Kick over the top here to Josh Dacos. How many's he had already, Ash?
Disposal number 8.
Thank you. And a bounce on the wing as well. And now the kick to Elliott on the lead.
Beautiful.
Too swift by foot for Big Goldie. Turns around 45 out. Looking for Collins. One hand on it. Fell backwards. Here's Ginnivan. Handball to Dacos. Outside 50. Got every bit of it. Cameron's in the goal square. Won't mark. Thumped away by Goldstein. And has got it to the boundary. And a boundary throw in deep in Collingwood's attacking zone. They lead it by a point.
Sunshine over half this magnificent stadium. We've got the ball thrown in. Collingwood in attack. Goldstein, Gardner. Simpkin ripped in a really good tackle. Elliott over the top. David Uniac's got him. Ball up.
Darcy, Todd.
Again, it's Goldstein down to Simpkin. Simpkin steers it, looking for Curtis Taylor. Dacos had a piece of him. So it was a mark anyway.
Got outnumbered here.
And they have got an outnumber. They go long to Zeeble on the wing. Anderson runs for him. Doesn't always use it well, Jack, but that's not bad. Got it to Young.
Felt like they had to move that a bit quicker. Had the outnumber, could have played on.
They go long to about 25 out. North players fly from all directions. Nick Dacos down. Anderson just barrels into Noble. Just ran him over.
Yeah, good.
And the ball's over the line.
You throw it in, 40 around from North's goal. Cracking first quarter of footy.
It is.
4-1 to 4-2 in favour of the Pies. Boundary throw, and you can hear it just buzzing.
bulldozing.
It's just a constant murmur. Here's Cox trying to tap it the second time.
Or Phoenix.
Got a little bit of it here, did this man Fleiss. Ran around, took on a bit too much.
big
Noble ran straight into a thumping tackle. Big blowing tackle there. And a ball up.
I'm not sure how full Phoenix's trick bag is, Bristle, but I don't reckon he's got that in the repertoire just yet.
Ran out of tarmac there. There's Dacos. Skirting little ball. Mackay trapped it on the half volley. Got it to McDonald right in front of the North Melbourne bench where David Noble sits and operates from today. The kick to Curtis Taylor is good. Dacos run past on the mark and then umpire gave him a lot of leniency to come back.
Curtis Taylor
Move it on.
told to move it on. Does now. Goes into the pocket. And a mark in front by Cox. We just got rid of big Zerha. Had the glasses tangled with it as well.
Fingerprint on his son.
Lost the lens.
And that's what you want. So to answer your question about Grundy, Grundy has to come back and do exactly that.
Yep.
He's got to play tall, get back in the hole, mark it, push forward.
Thank you.
Good mark taken by Lockie Young.
Stand by.
Well, for North fans, they're in it.
Yep.
And that's all you wanted to see by quarter time. Long, long way to go in this game. Long ball inside 50, almost half front and centre. Flicked it into the hands of Curtis, who runs this way and that and then missed everything. Hacked off the ground by Noble. Davies Uniacke steps on through a couple. Flicked it to Simpkin. Simpkin on the left, and that's not going to bend around enough.
All clear.
All tied up at 4-2 apiece.
Bob JT Marts, Boner down there in a bit of trouble, JZ.
Yeah, he's got an issue with his left pectoral muscle, just spending some time with the North Melbourne doctors now and might go downstairs, so complaining of chest soreness.
Bonner, I'm sorry. Little one here. It'll be a free kick to Cox. You're listening to this at the moment. It doesn't sound like a footy game. Cox goes out wide sluggishly on to Murphy. Rusco it was, in fact, looking for Ginnivan in the sunlight. Got a bit of room to operate. Little left foot creator back around the body to Rusco, who'd probably run out of puff by the time he'd made it to half forward. North Melbourne player's been hit on the head here, and he's hovering over the ball. I think it's Curtis Taylor under all of that. May not be. Free kick is going to go the way of Collingwood in the end. Larky it was, and Rusco's got the free. Those Doves are hovering out there at the moment as Rusco lines up from 55. I saw him the last time I saw a Dove, but Rusco, long ball, Cox in front, pumped away by Young. Dacos tried to kick it over the shoulder, went and got it at ground level, did Cameron, ran into a brick wall, ball up, 50 seconds left in the quarter.
If Cox goes up 2 hands, he marks that. I'm not sure why he went up one-handed. I think he thought there was contact coming from behind.
What is that all about? Top of the goal square, though, for the Maggies. Ginnivan.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone down. Should be holding the ball. If you want to get rid of this out of the game, Umps.
That time he went down.
Holding the ball all day long.
Great tackle. I didn't see who the tackle was. Have to look on the Harvey Norman. Was it Perez? It might have been Perez, the tackle, but he came in controlled. It wasn't lazy. He got low, realised that Ginnivan was going to duck low and did it beautifully. Should have been rewarded.
And to the umpire's credit, didn't pay the free kick.
Yep.
Did he to Ginnivan for the high tackle. Here is McDonald now, tackled by Elliott, so down to the last half a minute.
But Bristle, my thing with it is if you choose to go down low, there's your prior gone, it's holding the ball.
Yeah, providing you've won the footy. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Goldstein, little knockdown here. And the Kangas want to be careful they don't concede in the last 20 seconds of this quarter. Done a good job to be where they are. Squared up here. Knockdown comes to the Pies, and another safe tackle there against Lipinski. And we'll have another ball up. Davies Uniacke it was. A few seconds left here. Only Collingwood can score for the rest of this quarter, I would say. Goldstein got one high, but it was from his own team man, Stevenson. Ball out in the Perez direction. Perez, little left foot kicks. Got to work here. It does. Looking for Curtis. Curtis kept it alive. Siren sounds to complete the quarter. And we have got a good game of footy. 4-2 apiece. 4-2, 26 each. It's on the Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football.
Stat quarter for Repco. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
100% Aussie Angus beef and chunky tomato relish. Catch a mighty Angus at Macca's today.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
This quarter for Foxtel, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL, only available on Foxtel.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks football here. Second quarter about to get underway. Collingwood 4-2-26, North 4-2-26. Red Z lending stats, Ash, in that first quarter. What do you make of it?
Well, Kangaroos only averaging 45 points from their last 8 games. They've kicked 26 and a quarter, and Davies Uniacke, BT, number 1 ranked player, 11 disposals, 4 clearances. Ream
Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. JZ, Bob Jane T-Mart's ground level.
BT, as you mentioned, Jason Horne-Francis, the number 1 Kangaroos draft pick. He's not out there. He was in the VFL today and had a day out, 29 possessions and a couple of tackles to go with a goal as well. So he'd expect his stint in the VFL to last only 1 week. Should be back after a nice start. David Noble talking to his North Melbourne Chargers now. Very positive. Aidan Bonner, did. Oh, gosh. He hurt his pec muscle, but expected to be back out there with the players now.
Bob Jane T-Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. By the way, Ash, where are we going after this for choice hotels around the grounds?
Gold Coast taking on Richmond at Metricon Stadium.
Okay, and Seabus Super making hard work pay off, Duck.
Yeah, and entertaining game of footy, isn't it? Both teams, when they win the ball out of the centre, almost score every time. And what's been what I've really liked about North Melbourne, 14 inside 50s already. Last week, BT, 25 for the whole game. Yeah. So they're moving the ball forward. They're moving it with some purpose. When they get that centre clearance, as I said, and have a little bit of time and space of getting it in there quickly and giving themselves a chance.
Yeah, 6-3 centre bounce clearances, North Melbourne's way. So, and scores from centre. It's not just one thing winning them, but it's scores from centre bounce. So 3 goals to 1 goal to Collingwood. So from that score source. So they're not just winning them, they're getting it out in the right fashion. They're actually entering deep inside 50, giving the forwards a good look.
Second term ready to go. All tied up on the Foxtel scoreboard. 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL, only available on Foxtel. Goldstein and Cox in the middle. Big Goldie, nicely done to Anderson, who flicked it back to Davies Uniacke. Through the middle, goes with a big long pumper inside 50. Larkey, no access to the ball. Maynard, a good player, walks away. and kicks it magnificently to Elliott.
Jeez, that was a good kick as you described, JB. Tough one to hit Elliott. Elliott short, finds Adams. Still at half back here, Adams. Just keeping it to that south side. Went for the all-or-nothing kick inside and missed the first gamer in Carmichael. Hasn't been a sizzling start to his career, but he is a first gamer. Larkey now in the middle of the ground. Little handball off. They're going to go inside 50 once again here, the Kangas. Short ball, Zeeble trapped it. Quainer missed it. Zeeble round the corner. Punt road end goal. Within the opening 40 seconds of the second quarter. Just like the first. North score 5-2-32. Leading the Magpies 4-2-26 on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, it starts with McDonald. Collingwood have got control of the footy. They've got a loose player, but McDonald read it beautifully. Another intercept possession from him. He's had a good year.
Great season. His season's been underrated. He's been the most consistent performer in this team. Davey Juniak, another one's going pretty well, but I have McDonald higher than him on the consistency rating at this club. And again, as you said, another intercept possession, got it full. Wasn't the prettiest of plays again. Powell was the player that just almost bombed it in and had to attack it, the Collingwood defender, but it just bounced sideways into Zeebel's lap and a nice finish.
Yeah, shocking bounce for Quainer. Doing the right thing in front, but
had to go at it.
Yeah.
Sid Barker medalist Luke McDonald, high draft pick. He's taken some time, Duck, to get to where he's at, but he is there now.
Absolutely.
Just wait, please.
Ball back in the middle. 1 goal lead here for North Melbourne.
Had some rebounces today, BT. You're writing them down?
No, there are.
New turf. David Zuniak taking in a pretty good Cox tackle. He got out of it though, got it to Simpkin. Now big gold man gets taken. He's in all style, Goldie. he did about 4 pirouettes while he was being tackled. Should have been holding the ball.
It's like a giraffe going down.
They told
legs everywhere.
Told us at the start of the year if he gets spun like that, BT, it would be holding.
It 100% should have been. There's David Zuniak again, and again he's spun. Now he's taken.
That was tight.
He was tight. Goldstein should have been gone all day long.
Adams, the tackler of the second one, little handball, didn't want to give it to Maynard, but he did. Now he sets Maynard free. Took a bounce and ran the full journey. And the kick inside 50. Off hands comes to Elliott. He's monstered in the tackle. It was a magnificent tackle by Young. And we'll have the ball up in Collingwood's attacking 50. To which they kick to the city end in this second quarter. They trail by a goal. We've played 250. Umpire David Harris throws it in the air. Not a lot of depth here today in the green shirts. Little handball comes out the back door. Mackay, well, we're all young, I mean.
Right.
Bonner goes wide.
Core has a bounce around the outer side and bites off a little one. And he finds Lazaro. Half back. He wants to go on the 45.
Jeez.
Goldie in front of Quaynor takes it. He wants to go quick. He does. Gave it to Stevenson. Stevenson through the middle, inside 50. Larkey. He took the mark and then got clubbed around the head by Maynard. And 50 he'll kick from to the punt road end.
Lazaro's kick inside. It was high risk.
It was a good risk, though.
Yeah, it was.
It was Quainer against Goldstein.
Yep. No, it was a mismatch, wasn't it? And the height's always going to win out there. But it was, a calculated risk, come inside. And I loved him played on. He didn't go back slow. He played on, and there wasn't much on, but he created something by moving and playing on.
Take a good set shot from here.
Oh,
doesn't look great. It's a real whopper. Might go through. It's gone through. He's got a couple. That was horrible off the boot, but it's floated through. North Melbourne 6-2, Collingwood 4-2, Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Even Larky's having a bit of a laugh there on that kick, but as we see, that kick inside just opens up the ground, and as we see here on the Harvey Norman, Goldstein could have easily gone back slow, wasn't much on, played on, created an overlap handball, the kick inside, one-on-one to Larky, then he went back and, well, I don't know how you describe that shape of kick, but it went through.
Very different the way they're playing today.
Yep. Playing with
last week.
Almost a sense of freedom, isn't it? Yeah. They're coming through the corridor, taking the game on. Their kicking efficiency's been poor all year, but they seem to be hitting the kicks.
And their goal scoring efficiency as well, Bern. They're going at 19% this year, ranked 18th today, 35%, 6 majors, 17 entries.
He's got a little...
He's getting out of his chair at times.
Sorry.
Firmness there.
Yes.
Back in the middle.
No doubt.
Cox.
With a game with Bonner and Cox in it.
Got Goldstein, Goldstein looking to draw with the handball to Davey Zuniak. Did it well. And, that was the old style.
It was. Curly Austin.
He had it pointing up in the air like a rocket. Dacos. Never. We've seen some rare stuff here today. Howe's kick inside, not so good. Picked up by McDonald. Little pokey one wide, and he finds the intended target in Taylor.
That is dead set Curly Austin, how he used to kick it for Carlton in the 70s.
He did. It was like NASA.
Inside 50, and it's a good ball too for Curtis. There's some murmurings around the G.
Yep.
Everyone expects North to fall over, but at the moment they're not.
Or $1.02.
Yeah, $15, I think.
North were paying $13. Yeah.
So Paul Curtis to put him 3 goals up. Early stages of this second term. Don't know a hell of a lot about Paul Curtis. Keilor boy, Western under 18.
He's had 4 kicks, he's going at 0%.
All right, thanks for that, Burns. Never has a man been more death-ridden, and he's slotted it. Paulie Curtis. 3 in a row to start this second term, North Melbourne. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
I know, doesn't it make a difference when you have set shots and you go back and nail them?
Yep. Big difference.
You saw Goldstein in the first term, Zerha. Like, they go back and nail shots are expected to kick BT.
Yep.
And that's, this is...
That's why they've kicked 7 too.
Yeah, playing exciting footy.
No better pressure to put on than scoreboard pressure, and that's what they've done. Every little opportunity, you'd be forgiven to missing that. He's on a bit of an angle, left footer, but just slot it through beautifully. And now going 5 kicks, 1 kick efficient, which is what, BT? 20%.
Yep. Curtis kicks it in a goal, and he looks rather bemused. And
what did you see, Bristol? Something?
I'm just bemused at his sort of look. It's sort of empty. Back in the middle we go. Goldstein, little knockdown. Elliott, clever touch to Adams. Adams pokes it through, got it inside 50. Cox competing. Mackay did him, went back and tackled him. Big Cox. Now the ball at ground left. Crisp almost threw it out. Spills to Adams. Adams tackled to the ground, got the handball away, but not in time. Centellini, and the free kick will go Jen Anderson's way. He shoots it out wide to Curtis Taylor.
Curtis Taylor on the wing. He's got Young running forward. A good ball from Taylor. Yeah, really nice to Lockie Young. And he wants to go. He does. High and long. Larkey. Howe with a big fly. I think it might go to Cameron. Interfered with, and back to Dacos, and there is Howe. Flicks it wide to Quainer by hand.
Quainer now got plenty of time to spot up Lipinski. He does. Lipinski can go short to side bottom. Ignored that. Then he ignored Elliott as well. Dacos eventually hits him. And Elliott's taken it just backward to centre wing. Gave the handball back to the run of Dacos. Now on the southern stand wing. Kicking towards half forward. Cox come from 3 deep. Hoskin Elliott got the handball away here to side bottom. Side bottom, a little underground ball deliberately to Adams. It was nicely disguised. Adams strangely to Hoskin Elliott, who was all under pressure. Was appealing for the free. Simpkin, little kick along the ground. Collingwood fans not happy. And now the ball out wide from Scott. Anderson slows it down.
Holding free.
I reckon Elaney had the whistle and was about to blow it. Anderson, long one. Larkey in front. Dropped what he should have taken. Lipinski.
He's got to take them.
Yep. Elliott. Worried out of it by Young. Coleman Jones. Too easily pushed aside by Quainer. And now Dacos taken over. They keep it in. Lazaro. Anderson by hand to Simpkin on the wing. Inboard, works to Luke McDonald. He's going to run into trouble. Gets around Myercheck. Aiden Corr now with a low bullet to Taylor. Half forward, he goes inside 50. Larkey comes at the footy and has it comprehensively pumped away from him.
Goldstein by himself.
Well done by Murphy. He had Goldstein on duck, you were saying?
Yeah, Goldstein was in the corridor just to the side of Larkey, but went to Larkey instead.
Elliott now short kick to Rusco. He goes short and finds Josh Dacos. Back to the run of Elliott. This is all at half back. Elliott now the kick very, very wide here, looking for and finding Crisp. He'll be paid the mark here. So Crisp has got the footy. They need to work it quickly. Taylor Adams didn't get the ball back at all for him.
Quiet start for Crisp, Ash.
Doves in the way again. Goes inside to Ginnivan. Got through his hands out the back to Myercheck. He couldn't get hold of it either. Gee, that man straight lined the ball in Young for North on that occasion. It was really well done. Handball out the back to Bonner. To Anderson. Anderson from half back. Down the line here, Zerha punched away by Rusco. Curtis Taylor was there. Zerha missed it. Dacos gave it back to Crisp. He's run down almost from behind.
Great chase.
McDonald will make the mark inside the defensive 50.
I'll take it out.
Yeah, pressure's been really good.
Paul Curtis, and that's a choice. He didn't have to chase him like he did, but he did interfered with the kick. Turnover.
Scott down the outer side.
They're away.
Lazaro. Larkey waited for the ball instead of producing the hands, but it's okay. Two kicks from home north. Larkey with a long one, the big gold man out the back. Coleman Jones jumped into him. His own man. And cost him any chance of marking the footy. Side bottom touches it on the ground. He doesn't get it past Larkey.
Well done.
Larkey stayed in the contest, then got ripped in a really good side bottom tackle. Now Howe.
They do. Howe goes down the line, so Collingwood under real pressure here. Cox got both hands on it, couldn't reel it in. Hoskin Elliott was yanked away as he went to kick it as well. Now Mackay goes in, imposed the big body. Simpkin went and won the hard footy, got the little handball out. North playing well here in the middle, applying pressure. Pendlebury gets a clumsy free. And Collingwood fans cheer as if they've had a bad run.
Well, a really good patch of footy from both teams there. Big contest to be won. Unfortunately gave a free kick away North Melbourne, but regardless of the result, this is, if I'm a North Melbourne supporter, I know you are, Ash, and few people in this box are connected with North Melbourne, you're really proud of what they're putting out at the moment.
Oh, the connection is solid in here today. Strong. High ball, Mackay marks at halfback. How many's Pendlebury had today, please, Ash?
Scott Pendlebury, 6 touches, negative 18 metres gained.
Yeah, Young marks the ball on centre wing, outer side here for the Kangas. So let's check the score. North 7-2-44, Collingwood 4-2-26.
Pendlebury quiet, and therefore so is Jay-Z. Zerha in front.
He loaded up on
able to take it and goes long inside 50. Larkey's got about 4 to beat in the air. Ground level, big Lark. Sold a bit of candy. In fact, double candy. And then he kicked it straight to Dacos. Jay-Z, down to you.
You'll find that Pendlebury doesn't leave that centre square. That's his area that he patrols. But hey, Collingwood without Darcy Moore, much shorter in the defensive half. Jeremy Howe giving away 10 centimetres height advantage to Callum Coleman-Jones, and 8 centimetres to Nick Larkey. They're shorter down back to Pies.
He's going to turn this over. Myercheck, stiff arm Bonner in the face. Myercheck gives it off to Davies Uniacke. Sits a high one. Not a great ball for the forwards to come out. Zerha couldn't. Simpkins a quality player. Around the body, not with the trip. Missing. 7-3-4-2, North in front.
Got to be better than that, Simpkin.
And had a handball to Scott as well. Class
inside player. Not much in that reversal, by the way, but can't touch the face, and that's why it was turned over. But Simpkin's got to be a better finisher. That's the next step in his development. He's only 35 metres out, snap. Class players finish them.
26 plays 45 in favour of North Melbourne. Cox the target here, big fly from Coleman-Jones, couldn't reel it in out the back. Davies Uniacke, quick handball, got it away. Coleman-Jones, clever little touch, pushed it in the path here of McCreery though. McCreery almost bowled over those African coloured doves out there. Little one here from Greenwood, he had a bit of a fiddle, a faddle and a fumble, so Zeeble said give me a go. Plucked the handball out, got it to Young. Young goes back inside, got to go again here, Young. Ground level footy, won in the end by Collingwood. Zeeble, handball, funny little backwards kick here for the Kangas. Picked up by the big fella Coleman-Jones, 48 metres out, punt road end, off hands, Murphy.
Did nicely with a kick too, found Josh Dacos, half back. Starting to get a bit vocal here, the Collingwood fans. Quainer over the top.
No, they are, Jim, frustrated. Quarter 2 alone inside 50s. North Melbourne up to 12 now for 3 goals. Collingwood just the 5 inside 50s for no score.
Isaac Quainer, long and high. Cox comes nicely at that ball.
Nice.
Takes it on the wing.
Scissor kick as well on the ground.
Oh, and then just has to do some bush luck. Coxie, just go back and kick the ball.
Trying to milk the 50.
He's adjusting his lenses
Not
again.
sure what he's doing. Inside he goes with a high one. Cameron in good marking shape. McDonald got a fist in late. And the ball is piled on.
Stood there like a lamppost, Cameron.
For a ball up about 30 out from Collingwood's goal.
So Cox comes off for a rest, Lipinski on. Score 7-3-45 North, Collingwood 4-2-26. Collingwood have got inside their city end forward 50. Simpkin though Bangs it out of there, out of the danger zone for the moment. Noble in front of Zurha. Zurha monstered him. Ball comes out the back door. Pendlebury picked it up. Gave it to Dacos. Dacos on to Noble. Noble 55 metres out. Centering ball. Big pack of players backing back. What a mark by Mackay. And Mackay takes a beauty at the top of the goal square.
I think it's safe to say he's a key defender. They trialled that for a couple of weeks and, well, it went no good. At least last week they changed it at half-time, Jim.
Just big buckety mitts he's got, hasn't he, Mackay? And vice-like. Perez.
In his defence, they never got it there last week.
Or the week before.
Kicks it straight to Howe.
They're already averaging what they've averaged over the last 8 weeks, 45.
Back to Pendlebury. Pendlebury, nice ball through the middle for Noble.
4th intercept mark from Mackay.
Noble. Tries to run a bit of an arc. 2 different coloured boots, Noble, and then to half forward.
Trying to impress Dad.
Chopped out by Lazaro. Got it to Curtis. Curtis on the left with a nice ball to Zeeble, who let it get straight through his hands. All sorts of problems now, although Zeeble found it again. Tried to get it to Stevenson. Stevenson arches away. And then he goes back to the skipper on the wing.
Yeah, Zeeble demanded the ball on the wing. Now he goes inside to the middle of the ground and finds an opportunity with Powell. He's told to go, stepped off the line maybe.
What is that?
Kick is horrible.
Jeez.
Jeremy Howe just plucks it off at centre-half back on the half volley and then slots up the kick out wide to Oscar Elliott. He's got Cameron on back inside if he wants the little inside-out slider.
Come on, Powley.
Decides to go wide to Adams. No one near Adams. Had a fumble. Cost him 10 metres. Still time to recover the footy. Handball back over the top here to Pendlebury. He decided to wait for it to bounce. Had to kick on the right boot. High ball inside 50. Mackay again. Off hands. Couldn't get it. Hoskin Elliott. Ball comes out to Taylor. That's Curtis. He pops it up very, very wide. And a nice mark taken by Lazaro.
This has been a big improvement too. The 50-50 balls down back. They're winning, not only winning them and clearing the D50, they're finding a mark which releases all the pressure up the ground. They can get up the ground and reset, go forward and find another target.
Paul Curtis kicks to Taylor.
Good mark from Curtis too.
Yeah, beautiful kick, wasn't it, in the end?
Taylor has got Coleman Jones on. That's a poor ball and a couple of horrible kicks forward.
It's the thing that's letting him down. Let him down all season, hasn't it, Ash?
Yeah, spot on. A couple of those mids there. Career low kicking efficiency, as you mentioned earlier, Bernie.
Nick Dacos, who's the complete opposite, uses it beautifully short to Noble. And Noble's just got to hold and wait. He can go back to Nick Dacos.
Well, that's the difference, isn't it, Jim? Nick Dacos, 9 kicks going at 100%.
Tried to get around Dave Zuniak, was unable to do that. Maynard now on the wing, has a bounce. Streaming forward, thumps a long one. North Melbourne at the back through Luke McDonald, played it well and took a nice mark.
Henry couldn't get back and compete as well as he would have wanted. McDonald held the body.
Standing up the defenders for North Melbourne at the moment. Plenty of inside 50s for Collingwood, but continuously they need to stand up, clear the D50.
Young of North, defensive goal square, kicks short, finds Stevenson, back pocket. His short kick. Gee, Mackay almost stood on that dove then.
He did.
It was a rare copper neck dove
It's
too,
been
I think.
turned into a dove, that one, Bristol.
Yeah.
But landed on.
Gee, it was so close.
Where are they native to, BT?
Well,
The
copper necks are a South American down near Rio Gallegos. There's the little handball square out here by Simpkin. On to Curtis Taylor. Chisler little ball high, but Maynard, in fact Pendlebury it was. JZ's man there at half back, Scott Pendlebury.
So across the ground for Howe. Phoenix Spicer breaks it up in the air. Beautifully done, Howe. Lunging handball to Lipinski. Goes to the wing. Side bottom normally wins these. He does. Got around Scott and on the left. A lovely presentation for Adams. Back to side bottom. Something good will happen here. Side bottom runs to 50. Sells some body candy. And off a step. That is superb. Still side bottom. Absolutely magnificent. Collingwood get their 5th. 5-2-32. North 7-3-45. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Yeah, well, it was one of those ones where he ran behind the player with the mark, and then Scott was right there, but he had to decide what way to go. Didn't want to give away 50 metres, but just went the wrong way, and that's a class finish. That's side bottom at his best.
Look at the candy first as well. Yeah. Greenwood went flying past. Finished from 50, but that's the class of this man. Always been a great kick, great decision maker, uses it well, and that's just another Another nice finish. He's kicked that. He hasn't got the longest shoe ever, but he's off a couple of steps, went bang from nearly 50 and finishes for his team. A much needed goal for Collingwood too. I'm just hearing information coming through about the copper neck, native to Australia.
Oh, yes, I'm telling you now.
Australian.
That was a dove that got landed on.
Where'd he put him? Down in bottom of South America.
By the way, we didn't have any audio dropouts there. That's Byrne just trying to put a sentence together. But
he always wins.
Oh, no, it's nice. I know what the dove you're talking about is now. Maybe they were from Australia. Yeah. There's Anderson through the middle of the ground. Gave it to Lockie Young. Lockie Young, a surging long ball deep inside 50. Murphy with the punch away. Trying to spin out of trouble here is Howe. And Howe is caught in the tackle. And we will have a ball up deep in the North Melbourne attack zone. 13-point margin, JB, in favour of the Kangas.
That's something they are doing, Ash, is laying forward 50 tackles, and they've been horrible at that North as well. As there's another block. This time it's going to be Mason, Big Mace.
And a remonstrance.
No, it's gone the other way. Pointed the other way, and Mace can't believe it.
Has to be 50 because he remonstrated twice with the big arms.
Umpy pointed the wrong way, still pointing all sorts of directions. Mace is standing over the ump.
Easy look at Mace.
He did come into contact with him.
It's all become a bit weird, but
front-on contact.
This is the third blocking free that he's given away, and it should be a goal to Goldstein, and it is. Mace is not happy. Staring the umpire down, gunslinger style. Not going to matter. 8-3 to 5-2.
He didn't contest.
Oh, look at Coxie.
Pendlebury's gone in. This is the umpire and Scott Pendlebury talking. Let's listen.
I'll have a look at it, but that's how I saw it.
Sorry, you'll have a look at it. I wonder when.
Next week.
Yep.
That's not going to affect that decision. Oh, look at if there's any demonstrative behaviour, that was right then with Cox. As we see on the Harvey Norman replay, have a look at this.
Not once, but twice.
Oh, yeah.
Double punches his quads, leans over, and then runs to the crowd and still carries on. Oh, look at him.
Come on, Mace.
Come on.
Back out to a 19-point North lead here, 3:30 in, Ash.
Just Triple M Red said, BT. North have only led at half-time twice this year. The last time was back in round 2 against the Eagles.
Yeah, of course, they went on to win that game. Their last win, Ash, by, I think, 15 from memory. Back in the middle. Cox, ball up, Goldstein. Little one outside to Crisp. Handball to Elliott. Funny little kick, didn't have a lot on it. Hoskin Elliott made it work, though. Ran to the point of the square. A low, withering ball here into the leading target. Couldn't get on the end of it. The first gamer in Carmichael. And over the line and out of bounds it goes. How much of the footy has the first gamer had today, Ash?
That's 4 touches, BT. A couple of clearances.
It's okay. 5-2-32. Kangas 8-3-51.
We're having a private conversation back here. Don't forget we're on air.
Thrown in ball, very strangely thrown in too. It missed all ruckman by a mile. Simkin floats it out of defensive 50. Big Zoo!
Jeez.
With a humongous climb.
He's knocked out
over the top of Larky.
He's got a sore head.
Back of the head.
That has thumped into the back of that's a good big clunk, that. Nice. From Cam Zerha. And North Melbourne now have just got it in the back half. Short one to Luke McDonald.
Zerha just acknowledging Larky as he ran past him. Said, sorry, mate. Little one out wide, had to go for the big hanger. And comes out wide to Mackay at half-back. So North got a handy little lead here, 51-32. And trying to draw the 50 was Mackay. Gets up immediately. Neat little right footer finds Curtis Taylor. He'll go short over the top by foot to Jed Anderson. Right in front of the North Melbourne bench here. They're building on the northern side. The Kangas heading to the punt road end. Anderson, long footy. Larky at the back, clears the way from Goldstein. Well done by Larky to protect Goldstein's back. And now Goldie will have a set shot. 45 out on a 45-degree angle.
Going for his third.
Jeez, big game so far from Goldie. How many touches he had, Ash?
Yeah, Todd Goldstein, 6 disposals, 3 clearances, 2 goals, 1.
Played predominantly forward too today, with Coleman Jones taking the number 1 ruck mantle today, but tough matchup, and Big Cox, he can carry on as much as he wants, but he's got to defend when it's his turn to defend, and nothing to complain about there.
2 minutes to half-time. Important kick for Goldstein. Punt road end, northern flank, has missed it left. 52 plays 32, so an even 20-point margin here with a couple remaining in the first half.
Big minute and a half. here before half-time. Can't give a goal away here, North Melbourne. Just cannot give one up.
Elliott got it from Howe, short to side bottom. Side bottom, a good ball for Oscar Elliott, out of side on the wing.
Oh, didn't stand either.
Adams, still on the wing.
Look at Maynard.
High to a 1v2. Cameron got it to the front. Perez ripped in a good tackle. Lazaro coughed it up. Cameron got it, and then Lazaro was taken also in a very good tackle. And we'll have a ball up with a minute left. Half forward for the Maggies.
So North have got a couple of extras back here on this stoppage, which is taking place 60 metres out from Collingwood's goal. Get some numbers back. Goldstein wins the knock, and Pendlebury applies the tackle, and they take it away here. The Kangas. Z-ball.
Spice
got it on to Spicer. Phoenix Spicer slashes the kick and misses. Mark taken Howe. He'll have one go to Adams, right on the National Tree Day logo, thanks to our great mates at Toyota and Planet Arc.
All right, low, penetrating, good ball for Crisp. Don't feel like he's had a heap of it, Ash.
No, he hasn't, JB. 8 touches.
Low numbers for this very, very good on-baller. Gets around Anderson and drills a low one straight to the skipper. As Ginnivan got bowled over by Bonner. They don't like each other, those two. And Jack can just calm things down. It's a fitty.
15 seconds to go. Are they holding a sign up, BT? What's the sign say?
I don't know. It might be an anchor or a ghetto blaster.
Well, 15
got
seconds
Powell
to go.
on. Powell's got to get it in and find a target here. He goes in search of Larkey. Maynard's got him. Larkey went back and found it at ground level, and then he got belted by a couple of Magpie tacklers.
So almost at three-quarter time. North are the only ones that can score. A stoppage, 20 out from their goal. 6 seconds remaining in the quarter here. I think they're holding some sort of signal up on the bench. Who knows what it is? They love drawings these days. It's like a game of Pictionary. Siren concludes the half. North Melbourne playing some inspired footy here today. Lead it at half-time by 20 points. Jay-Z's on his way up. He's looking forward to getting stuck into half-time. Collingwood trail 5-2-32, North 8-4-52. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks half-time footy.
That quarter for Foxtel, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
Yes, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. We are at the MCG where, can you believe this? It is North Melbourne leading Collingwood by 20 points. That's the Kangaroos 8-4-52, leading the Black and White Army 5-2-32 here at the MCG. I'm Jay Clark. We've got the former Adelaide and Melbourne superstar Bernie Vince and the best stats man in the business at Ash Chua to dissect this first half. When we come to the MCG today, thinking that the coach of North Melbourne, David Noble, is the big story. Is he coaching the Kangaroos for the last time? So much pressure on this man, the senior coach of the Kangaroos, and we could be seeing a boil over. One of the biggest upsets of the season could be happening in front of us. Only half time, North Melbourne up by 20 points, but Bernie Vince, North Melbourne fans, they haven't had a lot to cheer about so far this season. In fact, their football club has been completely pox. Yet they're half a chance to get the 4 points today.
He's kicking a team when they're down
with a capital P as well.
Can we resuscitate North Melbourne? Because Jay Clark's just drowned them in the pool. But
I feel like they've been pops.
No, that's a great way to describe it.
We call it as we see it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this station gives you, the honest truth. No matter what it is, we are upfront and truthful. And they've been pops. I'm going to jump on too. Hey, but if I said during the call, if I'm a North Melbourne supporter,
yes,
there's a patch of football there that I'm proud of. And they were cracking in. It's not so much their tackle numbers, which are pretty good anyway, but it's the way they've tackled. Their efficiency when they're tackling. They're coming in, they're winning contested. They're at plus 16 contested ball, Jay.
Yes.
Can you believe that? So they've turned up here with a real purpose. We saw in the first 10 minutes, I think it was something like 4-1 centre bounce clearances early, and they were scoring off the back of them.
Yes.
Kicked 3-1 in that first quarter from centre bounce clearances. So, I mean, they're here with they look like they've got together. I'm sure they've done this a few times this year, no doubt. But after a 112-point loss last week, embarrassing loss against an up and about, top versus bottom, really, isn't it? If you look at the ladder right now, they've sat down and thought, well, how do we get out of this? And some players need to stand up. I've been really impressed with Hugh Greenwood, especially in more so that first quarter. Some centre bounce clearances, some clearances around the ground, some big contested ball wins. He had a big influence in that first sort of 10 or 15 minutes, and when North Melbourne jumped out of the blocks. And then in the second half of that first quarter, Collingwood had 12 of the last 17 in inside 50s and were able to just level the scoreboard a little bit. And we thought, oh, well, they're back in it. North Melbourne have fired their shots. But then it was North Melbourne again in that second quarter. They came out and bounced back, and it was off the back of clearance again, inside 50s. And as I said, really playing a really proud, what I would call a proud brand of footy if I'm a North Melbourne supporter. Real contested style tackle. They're making plenty of mistakes. They've let themselves down actually a little bit with their kicking efficiency, which has been a problem all year. But they've turned up again. they've cocked a kick up, and they've just turned up to the next contest, won it back again in a contested situation, and gone again. They haven't dwelled on any mistakes. So, and one thing they are doing this week, which they haven't all year as well, is their kicking in front of goal. Goal kicking's been outstanding. Kicked 8-4 now, a couple of points late rushed, but their goal kicking's been outstanding as well. And one thing, the biggest pressure you can put on an opposition team when you're down the bottom of the ladder is scoreboard pressure, and that's what they're putting on now. And Collingwood, they'll be a little bit nervous, I reckon. This game's just sort of in that balance of slipping away a little bit. Never out of it against North Melbourne, but just in that balance where they'd want to come out and impress in this third term.
Collingwood won 6 on the trot, shooting for their 7th straight win. They did lose a game, remember, to West Coast.
Yes.
We all scratched our head and thought, how did they drop this one? I'm not sure if it's a complacency thing. They're missing 2 of the most important players. Jordan De Goey out of the midfield, Josh Carmichael, the first gamer. So they lose some quality there. But down back, so there's this theory that Darcy Moore is Collingwood's most important player, and you take him out of the back 6, all of a sudden Jeremy Howe's holding the back 6, and then Todd Goldstein, who starts forward today.
I like that.
David Noble makes a change. Callum Coleman-Jones, they brought him across from Richmond, been average, fair to say, been in the VFL, gives him the keys to the engine room, says, right, you drive the ruck, and then Goldie, all 34 years age, I think, he's kicked 2 goals too, and he's been a big threat down there.
Certainly has. I've tried to, I guess, stretch opposition's defence the last few weeks. They started against Adelaide, Ben Mackay. So then they stuck it out for the full 4 quarters. He was pretty poor up there, to be honest. Was surprised when they tried it again next week against Geelong, but to the coach's credit, changed that at half time. So only played a half there last week, and in a really poor game, was never getting up there, 25 inside 50s, I think. So they've tried to stretch him. I love the switch of Goldie starting forward, because how hard would he be to defend? Once he jumps with those long arms, and he's got good footy smarts. He knows where to run, knows when to stay at home and be that long option forward. And as you said, he's bloody hard to stand. Like, who's going to stand him? Jeremy Howe's rolled onto him. He's had a number of opponents up there, and when he's in the ruck, what I like is he's running or pushing forward, and Cox is having to defend deep inside 50, where we've seen him make a couple of mistakes, give a couple of free kicks away as well in forward 50 stoppages. So there's no bigger pressure than being, in your D50 when the little sphincter's pumping, Jay-Z, and you're giving free kicks away up there. You've given a couple away. You're being demonstrative. You're running to the crowd. You're really stirring the opposition up. You're bad-mouthing. You're trash-talking. And then you're giving free kicks away. So it's been entertaining. I've loved the brand of footy. We're all concerned a little bit, weren't we? Let's be honest, when we're coming to the game. What are we going to get today? During the rub, it was starting to rain. The rain was coming down, and we thought, oh, boy, this could be a big, a bit of a letdown on Saturday afternoon footy, but I've loved everything I've seen.
We were thinking Collingwood by how much coming into this,
basically.
weren't you? But I tell you what, it's been a big story for North Melbourne. All the pressure on them. They've come out, and as you said, they've delivered today. Luke Davies-Uniacke, take your hats off. I tell you what, he's had 17 possessions, 4 centre clearances, 4 score involvements, and then Todd Goldstein, 6 score involvements as well. And from a coaching perspective, you think, right, Mason Cox has been very good, sort of rucking them working forward. Toddy Goldstein's tested him the other way. That defensive stuff is fair to say probably not Mason Cox's strength. So that's a big victory to the North Melbourne coaching box. It is North Melbourne, can you believe it, up by 20 points over the Magpies. 8-4-52 North Melbourne, currently leading Collingwood 5-2-32. Be interesting to be a fly on the wall in the Collingwood change rooms at the moment to hear what Craig McRae will change or to try and flick the switch. You'd think he'd want something more out of that centre square. Asher, for the Red Z Landers, what is jumping off the stats sheet at you?
Well, positives for North. They're up at half-time for only the 3rd time this year, but they've only been averaging 54 points per game this year. They've kicked 52 in a half. And they've also been efficient, Jay-Z, when going inside 50. They go at 19% goal scoring efficiency, ranked 18th. They're going at 27 today, which is 4 above the league average. And the entries, as Ducker spoke about, 30 entries in a half. They've only been averaging 36 over the past month.
Jeez.
Yeah. And, but just, individually, you spoke about LDU, number 1 ranked player with those 17 touches. Simpkins, 16. Anderson, 15. Byrne, you spoke about his kicking efficiency, an all-time career low at 43%.
43?
8 kicks today, going at 100%. Mackay, 10 disposals, 4 intercept marks in the back half. I'll just pay some respect here to Toddy Goldstein. He's the number 1 rated player at North this year at 34 years of age. He's played 272 out of a possible 282 games since 2010, Jay-Z. Just flicking over to the Magpies, I'll just highlight some low numbers. Crisp, 9, averaging 27. Lipinski, 6. Mychek, 2 disposals. and just one behind. But Jay-Z, just a bit of perspective.
I know. Don't do it, Ash.
Go on.
Ash.
All about balance.
Ash. Come on, Ash. Careful. It's your club, your team.
Well, second halves.
I know.
North have won 3.
I know.
Out of 30 quarters. They've only been outscored by 496 points.
Oh, Ash.
Hopefully they can turn that around.
I'd never do that to my team.
Neither would I usually.
Big question mark after the main change. You did come in here today, Ash, and you did say, I think North Melbourne has a chance today. That is why you are one of the best. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, of course. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, quarter power, backed by a 6-year warranty guaranteed. Is Collingwood up by 20 points over North Melbourne. Now, we do deliver the best analysis, the best call, Bernie, every week with everyone, the best footy fans. They come here, they want the absolute quality. But every now and then, something we go off script, or something's a little bit wrinkly, and we end up laughing at it. So let's take a listen. I got a feeling it's something to do with Duck and the recent headlines about him and his text messages to Jackie Ginnivan. Let's take a listen.
Ginnivan will have a look from 35 out directly in front.
How did Ginnivan get that much space leading up to the
Look at this. Ginnivan directly in front was going to go around the corner.
Oh, he's thought about
and
the
then
text message.
It went.
He's checked his phone.
It went ding, ding. Text message beep, beep, from the duckling saying, no, you kicked the drop punt.
Oh, no.
I'm sure it went ding, ding.
Oh, no.
And he comes. Now he's confused. He's kicked it way left.
He's confused.
He doesn't know whether to kick it around the corner, in the air, torpedo along the ground. He's totally gone.
Oh, he's outstanding, BT.
Doug was a bit filthy about us bringing that text message up too. I don't know what happened.
Brilliant. BT does not miss.
No.
It is North Melbourne up by 20 points over Collingwood at the MCG. The Kangaroos 8-4-52, leading the Magpies 5-2-32. We are going to have the best call team in the business. It'll be BT, JB, Bernie, Vince, Wayne, the King, Kerry, and Ash Chua, because for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power. Backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Jay-Z's bitten off that much of the halftime break. We come back to action. As the ball's in dispute in the middle of the ground, Simkin went and found it, Ginnivan found him, flicked it to Young. And Young receives a high contact free. North Melbourne, if you're just joining us, are 20-point halftime leaders. McDonald, long left foot ball to half forward. Larkey comes at the footy, unable to take it. Curtis ground level. Through the hands of Spicer. Larkey again, flicked a handball to Anderson. Anderson now to Taylor. That's a touch ball. And Murphy is going to be taken in the tackle. Released it to Noble. And he's taken the ground. There'll be a ball up.
A ball up inside North Melbourne's forward 50 at the city end, to which they're kicking in the third quarter, as JB said, leading by 20 points.
Real appetite, North Melbourne already. It's only early in this third term.
Looking at the upset of the year, Ash, have you got a stat there that's going to put people off thinking North can win?
Yeah, put them off. I certainly have. Quarters won the second half, BT. Unfortunately, North have only won 3 from 30. They've been outscored by 496 points.
Oh, boy.
It's not a good one, Ash.
I can't believe you've gone there, Ash.
I'd never do that to my
Mr.
team, as I said before.
Not a lot of hope in there for Ash. As Coleman Jones
Two
out
in
the
the
back. They have their second entry inside 50 in as many minutes. Knocked away by Zerhan. Got it to Spicer. Spicer straightens them up. In goes Murphy with a big brave spoil. Now Pendlebury's got to tap it cleverly to Lipinski. Lipinski was gobbled up, but not before he got a little kick away. And it's Stevenson smothered it mid-air. Back inside with a Scott kick. Long ball, Larkey, double grab. He thinks he's got it. Umpire David Harris says he has got it. And he'll line up from 25 metres out directly in front. Larkey.
Tell you what, they're little things, but Stevenson just the hand in.
Yep.
So never had any right to actually get a hand, but the fact that he put his hands up in a defensive attitude, got a hand on it and it deflected, they get a shot at goal.
And the player chasing as well.
Looking for goal number 3, Larkey. Just a 20-metre kick directly in front. Got it, North. Good start. Up by 26 points already. Biggest margin of the game, 2 minutes into the third quarter. North by 26 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, that was the question, wasn't it? How North Melbourne going to come out after half-time? You'd expect a big response from Collingwood. Would have copped some stern words inside at half-time. But as you said, Duck, well called. They've got an appetite here. Again, a centre-bounce clearance inside 50, creating opportunities. Yeah, you could argue that Jeremy Howe was in front and might have been a push out of the contest. But Larky's just going for the ball, took the mark. 2v1, well done.
26-point lead. North Melbourne, early stages, second half.
Jeez, they're starting to nudge each other back here, Jim.
Two men on eBay trying to buy
Duck, that's right. I was thinking about the spa.
Duck's back on board.
Long way to go. Ball one down. David Zuniak went and tracked it and then lost his footing. Got it back though. Stood up in the tackle, flicked a really good handball to Goldstein. Powell got it off to Anderson. Bang! Jammed it down the throat of Larkey, who's 45 from home.
Jerry, back on meter. Thank you.
For number 4.
That's right, Nick. Stand.
For Nick Larkey.
Jed Anderson again was the player who won that. Kicked it inside 50, up to 17 disposals now. Going at 90% after going all season at just over 40%.
Big Sue Valark. It didn't look good off the boot ever. Drifted left for a behind.
Second floater today.
Yep. 9-5-59 to 5-2-32.
Centre clearances 11 to 5.
Jeez.
North
And
Melbourne.
scoring off the back of them too, Ash.
Yeah, 3-1. North has scored from those 11 centre clearances.
To catch it high off the boot again and floater style. In the meantime, Maynard from fullback brings it in, looking for Cameron. Knocked down to Dacos. He tried it with the one hand. Spills to Noble. Got it back to Cameron. Cameron with a kick down the line here, looking for Cox, but Anderson just drops in front, takes the easiest of marks. So haven't gone past halfway, Collingwood, in this third quarter. I don't think Ash been played 4.5 minutes.
Been all in their half, BT.
90%.
59%.
4 minutes and 20 seconds without Collingwood going past the halfway mark in the third. Crisp. Wide to Howe. Can they get it past this time? As Jeremy Howe fakes the handball, kicks slightly inboard, finds Lipinski. Still at half back though. Haven't crossed the National Tree Day logo, which represents the middle of the ground. Short ball to Quainer out very wide on the southern stand wing.
Isaac Quainer to side bottom, still on the wing. Out of side. And now Hoskin Elliott comes at the ball.
Can't allow these easy lead-ups, North Melbourne. Got to defend the ground better.
Hoskin Elliott to thump a long one to centre half forward. Cox, beautiful.
Too far out.
Floated in and took a very nice contested mark, but he'll kick from outside 50. Big Mace.
Oh.
He goes sideways with a horrible nurry. It's handball back to Pendlebury, who just lost the handle and might have just seen someone ahead of him. Anderson almost barreled into his own teammate. Side bottom off the ground. Core couldn't take it. Cameron with a spinning move. Brilliant goal. Got his second. 6 on the afternoon now for Collingwood, and that was superb from the big man. 6-2-38 to 9-5-59. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It was a soccer off the ground from side bottom, just something out of nothing, a bit of a dirty ball, mongrel ball inside 50, but created a bit of panic there for North Melbourne. They all got attracted to the footy, and as you said, as you called it, Cameron just spun out of trouble, and there was no one defensive sides. One of the North Melbourne players had to stay defensive side. Goldie got attracted to the footy and went after it, bypassed Cameron, and he just let him run into an open goal.
He did indeed. Goal apiece here in the third on the Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services, a huge range of electrical accessories, by the way. Beacon making every tradie's job easier. David Harris out in the middle. Following this game, where are we going, Ash?
Metricon Stadium, Suns taking on the Tigers.
Any other games on tonight, Ash?
Then St Kilda v Frere at Marvel.
Big game there. Out of the middle we go again. Simpkin with a little handball to Coleman Jones. The run off half back, impressive from the Kangas. They go down the Larkey direction again. It can be a bit narky. Here's Lipinski, hovered over the top, knock it out, drew it back in, and umpire David Harris let him off the hook, and we'll ball it up inside the centre square, favouring North's end of the ground.
Coleman Jones down. Greenwood couldn't get boot to ball. They go inside off the ground here, North. Noble with a nice fancy sidestep. Floats it out wide. Hoskin Elliott, Stevenson in hot pursuit. Stevenson worried him off the ball and then tapped it into the path of a teammate in Scott, who's taken to ground. We'll have a ball up out of side. 9-5-59 North, 6-2-38 Collingwood.
Darcy, coming back.
Ball thrown in the air. Lipinski, as soon as he accessed it, was taken again in a North Melbourne tackle, and another ball up.
21-point lead here for the Kangas. Looking for win number 2 of the year. Out of that contest, Dacos, Nick. Neat little ball to Ginnivan. Ginnivan's handball not quite to Crisp. Crisp tidies it up in amongst about 4 North Melbourne players. Got a wobbly kick up there towards Hoskin. Elliott Stevenson beat him to it, grabbed the footy, had to kick it out the back, a little bit of a high tackle, let go, no umpire whistle there. Now Simpkin runs away from half-back. Neat little left foot kick, finds Zeeble on the wing.
Did that very nicely. Zeeble pumps a long one. Larkey at the back as a couple of Collingwood players pound each other.
Jeez.
Handball now to Zerha.
Jeremy Howe in trouble.
Over the top, Lazaro should goal.
Oh, no.
He tried to bring Larkey into it. Larkey might goal anyway. The snap is good.
Jeremy Howe knocked out behind play, I reckon.
Oh, no.
And Murphy not well either. Collingwood have got 2 down.
Larkey's got his 4th. North Melbourne get their lead back. 65 plays 38, but all eyes on Jeremy Howe, BT.
He does not look good. He's been lying down. Murphy's got back to his feet, and both of these players will come off for an immediate concussion test. I think Murphy's head has hit the ground. He looked dazed. Jeremy Howe is definitely dazed, so it is a 15-minute...
Jeez, he's done well to get up
15-minute protocol. I'll be stunned if both of these players don't immediately come from the ground. I don't know why they're not.
They're not.
And they're not, and they have to notify the interchange steward, and the time starts from when they notify him for the 15 minutes. And neither player is coming off.
Well done, Nathan Murphy.
Yep.
The rating on him as a kid was that he was a bit windy.
Yep.
He is not at all.
That was courageous as you could get.
It's a warning against Collingwood.
And
We're going to throw this up.
Jeremy Howe, they'll look at that on the bench because they check the vision. They'll check the vision, no doubt. Jeremy Howe will have to come off for at least the test because his head whiplashed when he got crunched.
They've got to. I am absolutely staggered. We can see it from here, Bernie. Why do they... They can look at the replay later, I agree, but from this distance, it's not good. There is Jeremy Howe flying again. What if he'd landed on? What if he'd landed on his head? Here is Adams. This way, that way. Handball back to Howe. Howe caught in the tackle, had to get rid of it to Quainer. Quainer to Dacos. Collingwood making some momentum here. Kick out wide to Henry, who's done bugger all today. Out the side doors, McCreary. Got some wheels. Little soccer kick didn't go anywhere. And it's going to be Taylor to hold the ball here at half-back for the Kangaroos.
They've been good at that all day, the North Melbourne side. Just those 50-50 balls down back. They've just been able to win them. First of all, win them and then find a mark just to release that pressure. And again, they did it there.
Picked up by Taylor. Just has to hoist a high one to half forward. Greenwood tried to come back on the ball, couldn't. Now Cameron can bring it away. Lipinski through the middle. Pumps it inside 50. Mackay in best position. Then he goes short to Stevenson, who's called to go. He's got Simpkin on at centre half back, uses him. And Jai Simpkin can dump it to Perez. Goldstein lurking for him on the wing. Half forward, gets to him.
Outnumbering here.
And Big Goldman with a high one. Looking for Larkey. Zerha stayed down. Murphy again. And he takes it over the line.
Bob James Hemarsh, Jay-Z, surely they are checking the screens down there.
Yeah, they spent about a minute watching the incident, replaying, poring over their reactions, etc. So one doctor on the screen in the replays, the other doctor went and watched Howe and Murphy's reactions. So they're splitting it, they're talking about it now.
They're 1 metre from you. The two doctors are talking. I don't know whether you can hear them at all or what they're looking like. We'll come back to in a moment. Lipinski to McCreary, McCreary to Adams, Adams to Dacos. Good linking play. Josh Dacos, Nick Dacos goes inside. Mark taken Elliott directly in front, 25 metres out. Elliott will line up for goal at the punt road end. Back to you, Jay-Z. What do you think the decision is?
Yeah, one doctor just running out to Howe now, who looks like he's headed to the bench. So Nathan Murphy staying out there, Jeremy Howe coming to the bench.
So the other doctor going to Murphy now as Jeremy Howe comes to the bench. I am absolutely staggered, given the conservative nature in which that's supposed to be treated, that they are still there.
Oh, he's arguing, Murphy.
He is, doesn't want to come.
Well, it's not his decision, it's the doctor's decision. Elliott now, 25 metres out directly in front. He kicks the goal. Collingwood get it.
Still not coming
He's
off.
Still arguing. Let me tell you this, young man, when you spend that long on the ground, something's wrong.
Jeez, he's actually told the doctor, no, I'm all right. It got me. He's pointing to sort of his chest region. He's saying that Jeremy Howe, when he went for the ball, he's made contact with his head on his chest. I think Jeremy Howe definitely hit his head, but he's saying it might have been winded.
7-2-44 to North Melbourne, 10-5-65 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Have we seen a Harvey Norman replay of it yet?
No, he was definitely pointing to Howe, saying Howe was the one that hit his head, not me.
He was saying how he hit his head, but it was on. He's pointing to his own chest. He reckons that he might have been winded. I've never seen a player that's been told to come off, point to the doctor and say, "Nah, you're off." Like when we're talking head knocks of recent time, I haven't seen it.
Well, they're supposed to take it out of the player's hands, aren't they?
You meant to. He got overruled.
Back in the middle. 2 goals apiece in this third term. Goldstein tried to find Greenwood. He tried to hack it off the air. There's Phoenix Spicer. Lots of movement, lots of action, not a lot else from Phoenix. And that's held in and no one has it coming out. So we're going to have a ball up. Point of the square, half forward. Collingwood just mounting a little bit of something. Davies-Uniacke wants to take the man on. Couple of brilliant side steps and then just too much on the kick and Spicer got under it and Noble didn't.
Jay-Z, no sign of the protocol being enacted by him having to go down to the rooms and click the clock at 15 minutes?
No, Howie looks okay, it must be said. So I think he's just copped the... I think he's okay. Both doctors still talking about Nathan Murphy and whether they can get him off the ground or whether they have to get him off the ground.
He might be okay down there, Jay-Z, but that's not the point.
Yeah, I think potentially it's just that rib contact. I think Howie looks okay. Speaking on the phone to the upstairs coaches now.
Okay, if it's that, it's that. Knockdown here, we still haven't seen a replay, but they might do it on one of their shows during the week.
I did see one, Bristle.
I saw one.
And it was quality from Nathan Murphy, just to go back with the fly.
Eyes on the ball the whole way, wasn't it, Jim? But Howie's head looked like it whiplashed into his
he was
chest
the one
or shoulder.
worrying, yep.
And it looked like it hit the deck. 21-point lead here with the Kangas in amongst all of that. McDonald out the back door. You feel that they're just conjuring up some spirit here now, the Pies.
Yep.
A beautiful pick up by Henry, but he's immediately tackled, shook the tackle off, got the handball out wide. This is the first gamer in. Carmichael takes a bounce, 70 out, centering ball. Myercheck, what a kick from Carmichael. And Myercheck lines up as a result, 30 out directly in front.
That was beautifully weighted kick there from the first gamer in Carmichael. He waited for the lead, didn't panic, and what some young players do when they first get the footy in their first game is they panic and get rid of it before they have to, but knew he had some time and space, waited for Myercheck to lead to the fat side, hit him beautifully.
To get it back to 15 points, Collingwood will have kicked 3 of the last 4. If Myercheck kicks the goal, and he does, 3 of the last 4, it's back to a 15-point margin. 10-5-65 North, lead Collingwood 8-2-50 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
They just needed Lazaro to go back. He could have spoilt that footy, there's no question, but just decided not to not to put his body. See there
no, he should have gone.
He should have gone.
You can say that. You can say he's got to go. And the missed tackle from Core as well.
Chose not
just
to.
a couple of poor efforts, and this is why you say, well, why are they down the bottom of the ladder? These are the little things, the differences between top sides and bottom sides.
And Taylor Adams, his last 4 against North, he's averaged 30 disposals and 6 clearances. Leading ball winner on the ground today with 21, along with 4 clearances.
Contested possessions and clearances, man.
Positives for North are at plus 20 in contested ball, plus 10 in clearances, Doug.
Missed tackle here from Curtis too. Bernard cost him the last goal as well.
That's the little things.
Yep. Here comes Davies-Uniacke.
Another centre clearance.
Left foot, tumble it a half forward. It gets all the way to Zeeble. Taps it into the path of Spicer. Now they go inside 50 North Melbourne. The kick is really poor out in the full. And it will come to Trey Rusco, who goes to Crisp at centre half back.
Bob James team asked Jay-Z.
Yeah, Murphy's just gone downstairs with a doctor. I think an official 15-minute concussion test for him. How back on the field?
Thank you. Watch the clock. Here's the little handball out from North from Powell. They're messing around with it. Starting to fall into over possession game as Anderson just booted it inside 52 on 1 in favour of the Collingwood side here. Picked up here by Rusco. Rusco at half back. A nice little chipper finds Jeremy Howe right in front of the Fruit Doves down there. Jeremy Howe.
Copperneck.
Brings out wide. And now Crisp, beautiful sizzling ball to Carmichael. Carmichael appeals for the 50 and he kicked it straight into Davies-Uniacke. You should worry about other things rather than umpiring, little man. Here's Pendlebury, beautiful little deliberate socket to Dacos. Point of the square at half forward. Cox is down there. Almost out the back. McCreary tackled as he ran to an open goal. Over the line and out of bounds. 50 plays 65 in favour of the Kangaroos.
Oh, well done, Aidan Bonner there. Defended two key forwards in the end. One was Cox, the other one Mychek. Just got a hand in, beautifully done.
Just got a head of steam up here, the Maggies. Stung into action. Cox clean possession, then just dropped it on the ground. Davies-Uniacke went to ground.
We've got to be careful.
I reckon he's in a heap of strife here. Lucky.
Gee, Perez was good in that last contest as well. The dive, tackle.
Run down tackle. McQuarrie would have been a certain goal, Duck.
Cox flicked it. Pendlebury walked through. Ginnivan goes for another high free. He's got to be holding the ball.
Good decision.
There we go.
He went down again.
It's how you get this out of the game.
Great umpiring, that is.
Wonderful.
Who's that, BT? Number 25.
Ginnivan.
No, the umpire.
Nathan Toner.
Yep, great decision. He looked at it, saw him duck, and then called it not only a ball up, holding the ball. Love it.
Got to keep doing it, umps. It's a blight on our magnificent game.
Because technically, I just saw the Harvey Norman replay. That's exactly the same as the three he's been paid. But that time, they've changed their mind. Must have had a chat about it at half time. 7 centre bounce clearances, can you believe, for Davies-Uniacke? He's on his own.
Perez kicked the ball further afield. Carmichael trying to walk out. A lot of North Melbourne players cracking in here. They know it's getting tough now. Anderson, can they repel here? Taylor, it's Curtis, kicked it straight down the throat of Howe. Couldn't hold the mark. Out the back is Goldstein. Handball to Zeeble. Inside 50. Building. Anderson got rid of it wide. Larkey, little kick around the body, covers the 15. And a shot at goal here for Lazaro from 50 metres out directly in front.
I'll take a bow there. That was great play there from North Melbourne. Cam Zerha going back with the flight. Jeremy Howe just looked like he was going to mark it, and normally he sits on someone's head if they come back like that, but Zerha committed to going back with the flight, brought it to the ground and created this.
This will take a lot of pressure off Lazaro. Can't get the distance. Up goes Cox with a thump away. Zeeble's got the front and centre. Little kick out. Hey! Goal. Zeeble scores. Gets his second. Kangas desperately needed that one. They lead by 21. Zeeble's got a couple. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, go back to it again. Cam Zerha going back with the flight. That's a decision you make. And you spoke about Lazaro not doing it before, Duck. That's a decision. And he's just, well, he didn't have to make a decision. He just goes, creates the contest. The ball comes to ground. Again, not a pretty entry or a pretty way of finishing a goal, but just to the top of the square, creates a contest. A goal out of nothing, really. One that North Melbourne really needed, though, because Collingwood have been all over him the last 10 minutes.
In the last 6 matches, Collingwood only conceding 7 marks inside their D50. North have taken 7 already, Duck.
Yeah, very good, Chairman. And they'd be getting somewhere near their highest score, wouldn't they, North?
Spot on. Their highest score this year, 75 points, 71 as we speak.
Tell you what I'll be doing now is putting someone on Davies-Uniacke in the centre bounce. 7 clearances on his own, 5 only to Collingwood in total.
Anderson. Another one. He drags a high free. Collingwood fans don't like it with what happened at the other end. Anderson goes long and deep. Zerha! And he was easily run under the ball, and Maynard took a really good defensive mark, and then he goes to Pendlebury in the air. Takes it at half back. The champ, Scott Pendlebury. Beautiful ball into the middle.
Oh, you've got to be stronger than that.
Cameron was not stronger than that, BT. Handball now to Stevenson. Stevenson just completely stuffed it up. Had no idea what he was doing. Quaynor wrapped him up.
Got it. Quaynor back inside to Noble with a short kick. Noble right on the edge of the square. He'll go short along the line. Parallel with it to Pendlebury. Pendlebury able to go inside with a precision kick. Finds Cox. Cox's mark 40 metres out directly in front.
Pendlebury's had some important touches in this term.
Yep, certainly was. Everyone, all the numbers piled back, didn't they? Thought that he was going to go long, but just his footy smarts took a bit off the kick. Saw Cox just easing back.
What's he had penalties this quarter?
Pendlebury 4 disposals, but he's going 100% efficiency.
So now Cox to finish off the work here. Punt road in directly in front. Kick of 45 metres. We'll just get it there. Cox really dragged it across the front. And a funny old stuttery run up and a minor score there. So An even 20 points with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter in favour of the Kangas.
No, I'm being serious. What was Jaden Stevenson doing there?
No, I'm not sure. He's had some blues today, hasn't he? He's had some bad mistakes.
Just a complete brain fade.
I have liked his intent, though. He's had a go.
Young stepped around through the middle, lowered the eyes, missed the initial target. Now they get it back. Coleman Jones with a long one. Larkey! Top of the square. Got rid of Howe. Took a very good mark. Could kick his fifth.
And that's really good body use.
Yep.
So just put a little bit of early body on Howe and then just laid back on the footy in the space, protected the space. Really well done. The kick was to his advantage, Joe, and that's all you need.
Yep. Just need a little bit to your advantage. Just the timing of that bodywork, wasn't it? What about the ball movement through the middle of the ground, though? This is something we haven't seen from North Melbourne all year. They're energised, they're up and about. One-on-one's inside 50. Look what happens, kicking his fifth.
And should kick it too from directly in front. Nick Larkey has slotted it.
Jeez, he's wobbling.
5 on the afternoon for him. 12-5-77 North Melbourne. 8-3-51 Collingwood. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Mason Cox lets them off the hook at one end, and then Larkey gets a shot at the other. Mason Cox this year, BT, for set shots, that was one of his strengths, especially from the distance. He's 1 goal 7 this year from set shots, Mason Cox.
His career average is 66%, so way down.
Very good Ash Reds lending stance loans for the self-employed. So they are answering the challenges here in North Melbourne at the moment. And more than doing that, 2 in a row here they've kicked just when Collingwood is starting to surge. Is that the end of the Collingwood surge? Have they done enough to push it into the background with 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter? 26-point margin. Ball up in the middle. Cox the knockdown a penalty, almost.
Another one.
Davey Zuniak, how many's that, Ash?
That's 8 centre clearances.
Goes inside 50 to Larkey. Larkey shakes off Jeremy Howe, giving him a bit of a bath today. Handball to Zurha. Straightens up from the boundary line. Zurha missed. 78 plays 51 in favour of the Kangas and the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's always hard, Bernard, to make a case for a player being elite when the team's as pox as North are.
Yeah.
But Davey Zuniak has been at this level now for a while, I reckon.
Yep.
He's got real juice. Zurha, long one. Larkey parked under it again. Lots of representation at ground level for Collingwood. Maynard to Noble. Noble, here is Davey Zuniak.
He's on fire.
55 from home, Lukey D.
And they didn't credit him with that centre bounce, Ash.
I got overexcited. They gave it to Anderson. Still, he's had 7 though.
Anderson.
This is going to take some kicking, by the way. He's outside 50, the man on the mark. So he's going to have to get every single piece of this. He gets on the run and slides it across the face and almost lucky in the end, but it's through for a behind. 12-7-79 to 8-3-51. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Maynard the kick in, goes short to Quainer in the pocket. He's able to play on. Quainer drawing Elliott to the footy. Too well to mark this, and knock of the arm, marking interference. Jamie Elliott landed awkwardly then. Curtis Taylor wanting to give him the ball, and Elliott not accepting it. Now does. And looks a little sore, so he just pokes the kick at Dacos, and Dacos marks at half back. Told to go, he did step off the line here now. Maynard and Quainer are involved. Handball to Pendlebury, sliding handball to Crisp, needs to be clean at ground level. Well done. And was picked off here and tackled, and Curtis Taylor got it to Larkey. Larkey marked him. Gone by Dacos.
What the hell?
That's it thinking.
He had no awareness that the little-footed Tweety Pie Dacos was running in from behind.
Oh, the big man. No clue. And run down when Zeeble was out. Big moment that for Collingwood. That would have been a long way back. Elliott, can they get a late one here, the Maggies? Cox with a 1 mitt. Mackay thought he marked it, he never did. And a ball up 48 from home, Collingwood's end. Minute 49 left. Big minute 49. If Collingwood can snatch one here. Through the hands of Anderson, Lipinski. Walk through a couple of tacklers, that'll be a ball up. Minute 41 left. Done a good job, the umpires in this game for me, Brian.
Yep, today been impressive.
Laney Glofsis throws that one in the air. Brilliantly done by Elliott. Gave it off to Pendlebury. He walked into the tackle of Simpkin. Cox went and found it ground level, got it back to Pendlebury, slapped it forward to Dacos. Speculates with the handball. Anderson had it stripped. Lipinski back to Dacos, who had a fumble. Stevenson tried to get back onto the ball, and now it's Pendlebury with some class.
Clever.
And he finds Carmichael.
Clever kick there from Pendlebury again. It's 3 or 4 inside 50 kicks that's hit.
Big angle here.
Wow.
I'm not sure this guy will tech stuck.
What's he doing, Bristol? He's going around with the snapper.
He doesn't
Going
take
to drop punt, I think. Is it? No.
No, he's snapping. And he got too close to the man on the mark. Well, the man coming in Perez and just to behind.
Not everyone can snap.
Settle.
Just a bit of panic there, wasn't it, for the first game? It didn't
Gretel.
really know what he was going to do.
No, wrong angle. Faced the wrong sort of angled angle. And messed up an opportunity. So Stevenson in the back pocket here. 40 seconds left in the quarter. North Melbourne have kicked 5 goals to 3 in it. Long ball, Ash. So they'll win their 4th quarter and second halves for the year.
Yes, from 31 that would be BT. Outscored by 496 coming into today's game in second halves.
Just knock that back a bit now.
And amazingly, girl on the north bench holding up the sign that says 1 minute.
That's Cully Fox.
Yeah, well, and that's what it should be. I don't know why we have stereos and ghetto bars and anchors. Just the 1 minute will do. Very sensible. Elliott. Carmichael searching.
Look out.
19 seconds in front. Henry couldn't hold the mark.
Has to be a
And he was taking the ground after the mark. And umpire said, nope, we'll throw it in deep for Collingwood.
Yeah, fortunate.
All I can think of is the umpire was on the wrong angle, but I'm not sure what angle that wouldn't have looked like a free kick. Just took him to ground mid-air. Can't do that.
13 to 14, the free kick count. Low count, which I like. Ball in to the front. Again, Davey Zuniak with another clearance. But Big Mace is going to hang on to this. 6 seconds left. Got to pump it in. Does so. Is there a mark for a Collingwood player here? Oh, Myercheck had a play on the footy. Just couldn't get his mitts to it.
Point counts.
And it is 3-quarter time. 8-5-53 to 12-7-79. North Melbourne in front by 20, 6 points.
Yep,
26, yeah.
And that is on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Bernie Vince next with Wayne Carey. Ash Stewart had a little semi and it's starting to work its way up to a real full bastard as his mob are up for the first time in the season. Now JZ Clark BT as well. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
100% Aussie Angus beef and chunky tomato relish. Catch a mighty Angus at Macca's today.
You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly. You're listening to Triple M Footy across the Triple M network. We'll be back shortly.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
26-point margin here in the MCG at three-quarter time of the IGA scoreboard. Collingwood 8-5-58, trailing North ball 7-79. Let's get some Red Dead lenders at.
LDU, number one ranked player, 26 disposals, 7 centre clearances, 10 overall and 7 tackles.
Red Dead lending, loans for the self-employed. Bob Jane Team Arts, Jay-Z.
BT Nathan Murphy cleared a concussion. He is all good to get back out there. Gee, isn't this an interesting twist in the David Noble story? All expecting these days to be numbered as the coach of the Kangaroos. And some talk that he could be gone as early as this week. Well, not if they win this. It's one of the biggest upsets of the season.
Jay-Z.
Buys him some time, Brian.
Jay-Z, with the greatest of fairness, you'd look at the big picture rather than one game, wouldn't you?
No, of course you would. But it does. They play Richmond next week. Yeah, of course he would survive till Richmond. Who knows what happens after that, but it certainly does buy him some time.
Not so sure about that, but let's get some thoughts of Duck and Bernie.
Well, it's all about their energy, North Melbourne. Their pressure is at a really high level, and they've just got to sustain that. So it is all about what they've done for three quarters. So just keep chasing, tackling, smothering, all those little things. Effort, structurally, they're setting up really well.
Larky 10 disposals that quarter, 3 goals, 1. Davies Uniac, 10 disposals, 5 clearances and 3 centre bounce clearances. So he's on fire too.
A couple early from the Maggies, and the North Melbourne freckle will tighten right up as we get ready to start this final term. Collingwood to the city end. Cameron Goldstein. Good quick release here to Adams. End on end ball. Elliott to fly from the back. Couldn't access the pill. Now it ricochets off a couple of sets of boots. Hoskin Elliott. Stevenson went to ground. Hoskin Elliott just misses.
Stevenson.
Just misses.
Well done, Young. Young, desperate. Looked like a certain goal there to Hoskin Elliott.
Did.
79-54. North's way. McDonald swings it in from fullback. Jeremy Howe rose and went to spoil. Disciplined it was. He could have easily gone the mark. North are caught with the footy here. And it'll be a free kick. 4 Collingwood players closed in on him. It might have been Simpkin. And Taylor Adams will win the free. So Hoskin Elliott is deep. Jamie Elliott's there as well. Not a lot of height inside there at the moment. Cameron gets back to give them a little bit of that. Out the back to Elliott.
Here we go.
Left foot snap, got it. Elliott scores. Collingwood 60. North 79. Elliott's got a couple on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard.
Well, that's a concern, isn't it? Just a couple of nervous little contests. First of all, Jaden Stevenson, who got let off. Another one out here. They just gave up a couple too easily, really. The ball came in, big contest. Got to get that you've got to spoil it forward. No defender really wanted to spoil that, but flicked over the back, and he's too good a player, Elliott. He doesn't miss them, but This is the concern. Collingwood getting energised early in this quarter, and you can't play safe. North Melbourne cannot play safe and go into their shells and think they're just going to hold on to this. They're just going to. We want more of what we saw in the first 3 quarters. Keep turning up to contests. Keep taking the game on through the middle, because you won't win this game playing safe.
Back in the middle, Goldstein first hand, and then he follows it up, big Gold, but no one out there except for Noble to Crisp. Here come the Maggies, has a bounce, inside 50, Elliott again. Bonner with a nice late spoil, and out of play.
He actually gets too much speed on the lead, and he's coming too fast at it to possibly mark it.
It's well defended, as we see in the Harvey Norman replay. Bonner right up his backside.
Good crowd here, Ash. They really have filled up a bit.
Nudging 50, you reckon?
Yeah, there's got to be. Boundary throw in. Collingwood half forward line. Goldstein doing the ruck work. Knocked down here to Taylor Adams. Got a little foot on it, advanced at another 10. Off hands McCreary. Brushes the tackle. Right foot snap goal. 13-point margin on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard in favour of the Kangas. Pies have kicked the first 2 of the last inside 3 minutes.
Just little things, just that broken tackle from Stevenson. And why is he coming straight off the ground, Stevenson? So he's missed that tackle and he's
now told to go back.
He's told to go back out.
Does it look like he's limping or holding? He's holding his lower back or buttock. He looks like he's caught something, but that's an insipid tackle. You cannot give those sort of. That's 2 from him inside of a minute and a half of play. You don't win games doing that.
Listen to the noise.
They're starting to get energised, the Collingwood fans.
Big house full of Collingwood nuffs, and they're getting real loud. First 2 of this final term, Magpies. How many have they won in a row, Ash?
6 in a row.
Wow. Coleman Jones high. Well done by Greenwood. Got it to Simpkin. Now Davies Uniacke, who's playing some sort of a game of footy. Got it into the hands of Curtis Taylor on the wing. Not much to go to, though. He's got to measure a little one to Powell. And Powell will bite off a short one to Zurhaar. Too far out to score the Zoo. Need to take a bit of air out of this balloon here, North. Zurhaar punches a low one. Larkey, it gets past him. Zeeble a little fumble. Lots of Collingwood representation. Cameron a high one. Forward thump from Perez. Taylor. Powell. Simpkin. Sits it out in front of Zeeble, who dropped the mark, did he? I reckon he did. Gave it off now to Coleman Jones. The snap from the big man. It didn't get the trip. Can you believe that? And Noble is tackled over the line for a behind.
That's that.
14-point margin. Very early in the last quarter. North Melbourne were pressing then. Pendlebury from fullback on his non-preferred right side. Puts it down the throat of Cameron, who just needs to be stronger in the air. There's been 3 occasions today where you'd like to see mark it. Jeremy Howe flies, and he marks it off the back of Maynard. And so rightly the umpire didn't play it. It was a correct call. Now Dacos, he's forced backwards. Zeeble had to go with a risky handball there to Pendlebury, and Pendlebury's handball out of bounds. We'll see a boundary throw in at half forward for North, who lead by 14, Jay-Z.
Jaden Stevenson just gone downstairs with the North Melbourne doctors. I'm not sure whether it's a strain or a cork. He's definitely got an issue on the left side of his leg. Checking it out with the medicos now.
14-point lead North. First 2 of this final term, though, to the Magpies. Clean possession, Goldstein. Davies Uniacke, a high one inside 50. How magnificent in the air.
How good's that?
Absolutely brilliant. About 4 or 5 flying. He took that, as he has for his whole career, short to Quainer. Now Dacos, off half-back, they bounce. Long one down the wing. Cameron this time, still nothing. McCreary picks it up and busts away. Couple of bounces. Got Elliott in front of him. Low on the eyes, hit him. The kick had too much on it. Dropped by Bonner. A simple mark.
Oh, he's got cramp.
Hayden Bonner gets up with a stiff leg.
He's got cramp.
Like something had happened to it.
He said, my hands were no good, but I've got cramp.
They still can't operate.
Or is his foot hanging? I'm not sure. Something's wrong with his foot.
What about Ash barracking?
Oh, boy.
Drop mark.
Bonnet's foot is all limp.
Yep.
Little opportunity here. I think he might have had a dose of the cramps.
Yep.
And he's just recovering now.
Like an electric shock had gone down his leg and it was all like a fish out of water.
Looks like the sub's coming for the Kangas as well, Jay-Z.
Stevenson downstairs. He might be finished for the day, BT.
Yep, they're wiring up the other man out there, who's Marnie. Little one here from North. It's deep in Collingwood's attacking zone. Crisp was there, couldn't win it. Little handball comes out. Pendlebury got it. Did he go under and got it high? Umpire said he ducked underneath it. So no free. Pendlebury has no argument. And we'll have a ball up 45 metres out from Collingwood's goal. They trail by 14.
Love how this is being officiated, Bristol. I want it to last in our game. Work to the ground. Greenwood picked it up. Here's Dacos, just got past him. His brother's there as well. Collingwood one holding the ball. Elaney says nothing but give it to me. Stoppage inside forward 50.
The Pie fans are going nuts on the fence.
It's good. So long we had no crowds. Now we got lots of them and it's brilliant. Kick straight to Dacos, flicked it to his brother. The magic of Nick Dacos. Yes. Watch this go through. Yes, please. Shades of his legendary father, Pele Dacos, the Macedonian marvel. 11.672 to 12.880 on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
What about
What
that?
a finish.
Dacos to Dacos.
Yep.
And then Dacos, the boundary. It's a fairly common sight in the 80s.
20 disposals, big game, kicked the goal now. Going at 100% too, 14 kicks at 100%.
8-point margin in favour of the Roos. The thing with this is they've done it all in the first 5 minutes of the quarter, so there's plenty of time for them. Time that they won't be pressured by the clock now. They've kicked the last 3 goals, the only 3 goals of the last quarter, and they've closed to within 8 points with 8 minutes ticked over. Back to the middle we go. Cox doing the ruck work. Adams was there, but it was sharked out of the middle by Simpkin. Simpkin with a kick out wide, backing back is Noble. He's only a wee man. Ball at ground level, picked up by Maynard. Howe got it to Noble. Noble wide with a handball to Dacos. Dacos goes back inside looking for Chris. Chris marks it on the point of the square at half back. He goes with a chiseler, finds Murphy. Murphy, in fact, Rusco it is. Rusco goes very wide to side bottom. He marks on the wing.
Got real momentum here, Collingwood. Side bottom. Gets around the man in front of him in Powell. Inside 50 they go. Mackay read it best. North had a game-high 28-point lead. 26 minutes into the third quarter.
6th intercept mark for Mackay.
Drop mark by Scott.
Side bottom Duck doesn't have a lot of oomph in his kick, does he?
No, not any. Yeah, he's lost certainly
the
he's
power.
lost penetration. Yeah.
8-point lead for North Melbourne. First 3 of this final term, Collingwood. Lights on at the MCG. Crowd have erupted. Cox and Goldstein. Luke McDonald, handball to Anderson. Now to Simpkin. Just floats it down the line. Zerha, Maynard, back to Howe. And Howe in the quarterback role kicks it into the middle beautifully for Pendlebury.
Oh, what a kick. What a risk it was. And he took it and it worked to Pendlebury. Now on his right boot. Long ball. Great mark taken here by Mackay.
One of the better games I've seen him play, Mackay.
Yep. Intercept mark number 7.
In defence, Mackay steadies the ship. Little right foot nifty over the top. Finds Anderson. He plays on here to Simpkin. Simpkin pointed the square half back. A little high ball out to formerly Troy Makepeace's number.
Yes.
Now Lazaro. Lazaro goes inside 50, searching.
No.
Coleman Jones won't get there. Oh, Maynard nearly threw it to Howe. He nearly threw it to him. Howe rushed it over the line out of bounds quite deliberately, but well disguised.
Big Callum was on the spot, wasn't he? There were 5 steps to cover about a metre. The ball in. Here's Troy Makepeace. There's a blast from the pass.
It is. Long sleever.
Yeah, good player too.
Yep.
Worked forward by Cox. Tries to find his own ball. Taken without it, I thought. Dacos. Here's Simpkin. Perez tried to take on the tackler. Powell off the ground. Noble came in nice and hard, and the ball out of play. Jay-Z.
Been a dirty day for Jaden Stevenson, being subbed out of the game. Jack Marnie preparing to come on as a sub for the Roos.
Okay, it's an 8-point lead here.
Do we know what that was for? Was that diving tackle, or was it a cork?
Referring to Stevenson?
Yeah, Stevenson.
No, Jay-Z just gives you half the story. Maynard, he gives you the full story at half-time when he's in the prime box. Here's Mychek. He thought he had the mark, but the umpire said, no. It's touched off the boot. The call was clear, and Alini goes up to him and says, no. It's touched, young man. And now she'll throw it up here at half-forward for the Kangas. Doing the ruck work, Coleman Jones against Cox. Beautiful tap by Cox to the run of Adams. Adams kicks it forward. Into his man.
Big Mac.
Knocks him out. Must have got him high. Mackay's down. Little handball to Anderson. Anderson back to McDonald. McDonald out wide to Curtis Taylor. Half back. Look down through a couple. McCreary ripped him apart. Almost broke him in half.
Yep.
Almost broke him in half. McCreary is a skinny man, Curtis Taylor.
Had numbers down the line as well, Taylor. Just had to get it on the boot. I don't know what he was thinking, turning back into trouble. He turned back into 2 or 3 tackles.
Not sure he was thinking. Bo McCreary. Inside 50, this one will land. Henry! Oh, he had good hands. At the back, Elliott. Should goal. Flicks it into the path of the first game at Carmichael. And he couldn't get a handle. It's through for a behind. 7 points.
On the side bottom.
I'm with you, BT. Probably had a shot himself as well.
Yep.
He had time. He was just running onto his left foot. Did the team thing and giving it off. But as you said, wrong option. Should have just had a shot.
Yep. 7-point margin North. Still 12 minutes remaining in the game. Just a momentary relief here for the Kangas. They've been under enormous pressure. McDonald from fullback kicks very wide. Cox hand Larky out the back. Got the little handball here to my man Spicer. He goes out wide and over the line out of bounds. In fact, I don't think it was Curtis.
Yep.
Now, Dacos now. This is Josh. Backwards to Quainer. Quainer at half back here. Collingwood stats showing Ash they've outplayed them here in the last quarter.
Yeah, and their pressure's gone right up, BT, over 200.
Ball to Cox. Big mark Cox. He was a couple deep. He says, I'm going long. Kick here to Elliott. It wasn't the best kick. He had to stop and prop. Defender come over the top, spoiled. Curtis Taylor. He's dragged over the boundary line. McCreary's nearly thrown him into the first row.
Gee, he has aggression, doesn't he?
Yep. His last 10 minutes, McCreary's been outstanding. Yeah. He's got some toe as well. I like his all-round game. Big contest.
See, for me again, that's holding the ball.
Yep, I agree.
You duck your head, there's your pry gone, holding the ball. Ball in. Not 15, you heard, so Taylor came in and was broken out of his hands. Lipinski, it's come tough now. Hoskin Elliott with a snap. Mackay's been brilliant. Benny Mackay, absolutely superb. And gets it to Lockie Young. How many intercept marks now, please, for Ben Mackay, Ash?
That's 8, and the record is 10.
He has been really, really good. Handball wide to Aiden Core. Short one works to Marnie, the sub. Who's on for Stevenson.
Davies Uniac getting back on now.
Marnie a long one down the outer side. Suddenly North don't look like scoring. That's the problem. Crisp. Carmichael. Side bottom. Inside 50. Superb. Mychek. Going to be a tough shot, but he's about 40 out.
You're right, they haven't looked like scoring, have they, of late? Might have been you, Jim, but they just, I don't know, I think they're just used to losing.
You can hit these skinny, BT.
There's an art to winning, Ash. You're laughing, but there's...
Yeah, you're right.
To get it back to just a point. And it's across the face and seen through by Goldstein. So 6 points now. The lead for North Melbourne. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Having a chance, Mychek. McDonald. Kick straight down the middle here, and the Kangas in the hands here of Anderson. Goes wide. Ball's marked by Marnie, the sub, who's been activated, as Jay-Z mentioned. He's confused about what to do. In the end, he chips sideways and short. Short ball now in the hands here of Powell.
Keep going here.
Powell, no one stands the mark, so Duck gave it to Scott, who was always under pressure, and then the next one's under Murphy pressure, and here comes Quainer like a steam train. Didn't win it in the end, but he surged it forward and forced the stoppage when North were lurking.
Then all of a sudden they've become stagnant.
Yeah.
They don't want to move forward. It's like real nerves.
That's what I mean. Losing becomes a habit, and they're afraid of winning almost.
Davies Uniac went without it. Simpkin tried to access it through, and that might be deliberate. I think it was. North fans won't like it, but I reckon it was there.
Touch harsh, that one. He was sort of tapping it into his path, I thought, to run onto it.
I'm not sure he wanted to keep it in, though.
No, he didn't.
Bernard. So, Steele side bottom can bring it away. He's got Cameron and Goldstein, a big fist from the ladder. Simpkin, Davey Zuniak, ripped in a really good tackle. Adams on the up. Side bottom now to Murphy. Murphy a long one. Henry from the back couldn't take it, but picks it up at ground level, walks into Aiden Moore. That's a better tackle.
Yeah. Well, he left
and a
his
ball
man
up 50 from home.
He left his man inside 50 by himself to come up and lay that tackle. Great support.
He had to go, didn't he? It was a split decision. He just made the decision to come forward. If he didn't, would have been a shot on goal.
It's like a big clamshell shutting then. He wasn't going to open up once he was on top of him.
Like an oyster.
Yep. Ball up inside Collingwood's forward 50 here. They trail by 6. Have they dried up the pies? North are applying enormous pressure in the last couple of minutes after they conceded the 3 goals early. Tackle here by Lipinski has caught Simpkin with the footy, and a free kick will go the way of Simpkin, but he's a long way out. He's going to man on the marks at 40, and he's 2 or 3 metres inside the boundary line. Southern stand pocket at the city end. So Lipinski will have a shot at goal to square it up. Lots of time left, 9 minutes of play.
He's a very good set shot, BT.
This will be 4 in a row for Collingwood if Lipinski can kick it. 45 metres out, he scunned it badly and kicked it out of bounds.
Attacks mozzed him and claiming it.
Horrible.
Not even on the full.
Claiming
Dribbled
it.
out of bounds.
Got 2 fists in the air.
Well, he's 17-6 from set shots in his career.
He might get a text.
He's still 17-6.
Maybe snap the next one.
That didn't register anything. Ball to the front of the ruck exchange. And now it's a scramble. Elliott held up. Ball up. Forward pocket, Collingwood, city end. Kicked 3 in a row. And have closed this down to 6 points. Through comes Lipinski. Handball to Josh Dacos, 40 from home. Now Adams shins it forward. And Cameron latches on. Top of the square. 87 minutes time in front, North Melbourne. Collingwood 7 minutes. This will draw them level at 80 apiece. Surely cannot miss from here.
Well, this is the most nerve-wracking kick you can have.
Yep.
Because you're expected to kick this 10 out of 10 BT.
Yep.
And you've got to go back and kick a drop punt.
Big time.
He's gone back on the Ben Brown run-up.
Duck, he's 20 out directly in front.
Yeah, and that's why it's the most nerve-wracking kick.
He can't miss this.
Can't miss this, Duck. Surely.
Lots do.
Surely he cannot miss this. Darcy Cameron. And he doesn't. They've drawn level, kick 4 in a row. He's got 3. Really good game of footy from Darcy Cameron. 12-8 apiece. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, we said he couldn't miss that. The goal umpire did a lot of work, though, Duck, to his left. He did take off all the way past the goalpost, came back to give it a goal, but really important goal there, obviously, for Collingwood. Levelling things up. Again, something out of nothing, really. They were able to, it was just a scramble kick forward. Dacos ran onto it, handballed it off, created something out of nothing.
Davey Juniak, how many centre clearances?
He's had...
Still 7?
7, yeah.
Still 7.
When was the last draw between these two, Ash?
Jeez, I reckon 1990 or
77 grand.
89.
Got the grand final.
I thought maybe 77.
No, I reckon they'd won in 89. I'll double check
Okay,
that.
all right, thank you, Ash. Just have that ready in case. Given the fact scores are level with 7 minutes to go. Back in the middle we go. So can North Melbourne draw from this now? Or are they going to collapse as Cameron goes forward? Mark missed by Young. Spills out to Goldstein. Goldstein, little handball underneath here, finds Scott. He was tackled, Davey Zuniak as well. McCreary in there, trying to crack in underneath that, and the ball up at half forward for Collingwood once again.
Just a few fumbles and slips and nervous moments.
Scores level.
Yep. Hard to see North winning from here. Cameron taken high. Every bit of momentum in this game is now going Collingwood's way.
Cameron's saying slow it down. I don't think so, mate.
Still got to score.
Keep going.
Cameron to pump the Magpies inside forward 50 again. Meyer checked to fly. Got to the back and Scott tumbles it to the outer side, but Noble's out there all on his own. Left foot ball inside 50. Hasn't quite got the juice for Elliott. Kept in somehow by Myercheck. That might go through. In fact, it's touched on the line. Not sure the kicker was Myercheck, actually. But it's a behind for Collingwood, who are now in front.
I like the way the goal umpire hasn't reviewed that.
It took a while to call it too.
North get it back into play quickly. There's no good sitting around on bums here. Zeeble.
The crowd's just seen the replay and they're complaining, they're booing, they think that was over the line.
Well, I've got to say, it looked a bit line-ish to me, and at least a replay would have been good, but if the goal umpire, you don't know, but
here it is.
We're seeing it on the replay now, and I think he might have touched it on the line.
Yeah, he got there. Good call.
Very good call. Anderson now gives a little handball off to McDonald. He sidewinds one forward. Big mark. Howe.
He's taken 2 massive marks now in this quarter.
Jeremy Howe at halfback.
Yeah, but Coleman Jones, you can't be outmarked there. You've got to bring that ball to ground. Howe to the broadcast wing. It's sitting out in front of Henry. I'm not sure he kept that in. He must have. And now holding the ball, Luke McDonald might have been better to take it out.
Well done, McDonald. He's got the free kick. He's out on his feet too. McDonald looks tired.
Got to find some dare here, North Melbourne. Taylor should have given it to Zerha.
Yep.
That's what they would have done in the first 3 quarters.
Instead of that, he massages it to Davy Zuniak just outside 50. LDU with a mountain of players in front of him.
With a big mark here.
Just goes for the set-up kick. And a really good mark taken by Pendlebury. Superb.
He plays on very quickly. Hoskin Elliott had space to go, but he looked down the field and he saw 2 North Melbourne jumpers. So wisely sent it sideways by foot to side bottom. It's 85 minutes remaining in the game. You got to feel there's another goal in this game somewhere. Which way is it going to go? Noble playing in the opposing side against his dad. High ball comes in. Hoskin Elliott front and centre. Got it inside 50. Here comes Elliott. Grab the ball near the boundary line. Turn around on the right boot. Back on the left. Little chip kick over the top to Dacos. Good mark. Punched away by Marnie. But Collingwood will have a boundary throw in deep in their forward 50. They lead by 1 point.
It's at the right end for the Magpies, who have owned this final term. Inside 50s last quarter, Ash.
15-6.
15-6, spot on, Doug.
So that is an owning. A goal here might just snuff this out. Coleman Jones to the front. Greenwood hovers over it. Ginnivan there as well. And the umpire wants it.
And 2 draws, BT. Collingwood and North have played in 77 and 1988. You actually played in that game. You kicked 7 majors.
That's
where Brian.
That's
Brian.
Okay.
We knew there was something in it.
He kept asking.
He did. He knew there was something in it.
Funny enough, if he had a kicked 8, they would have won.
Must have had a bad day with 7.
It's a ball up about 30 out, 25 out from Collingwood's goal. We have 4 minutes left, and they lead by a point. Been a cracking game of footy. Worked down by Coleman Jones. He goes back and finds it. And the game stopped again by the umpire to be thrown up in that exact same spot.
Yeah, 25 metres out from Collingwood's goal at the city end. We've got 4 minutes left in the game. Collingwood lead it by 1 point. They're looking for 7 wins in a row, with Adelaide, Essendon and Port to come in the next 3. His side bottom marks it from an indiscriminate kick from the stoppage. 45 metres out directly in front, but on the way that he has kicked it today, distance could be a little problem.
Well,
Man on the marks at 45.
He did kick one, but it was from probably about just outside where the guy on the mark is. So he's
Just
obviously
made it,
going to have to kick it a lot further. Look for someone to run around the back here. North Melbourne sort of left that position open there if someone wants to.
Dacos coming off with sore arm as well. So here is side bottom, very close to the man on the mark. Kick on the way.
Loves it.
It's a goal.
Easy.
Ginnivan's there winding up the cheer squad with fisties over the fence. Side bottom kicks his first. Collingwood lead by 7 points. He's got 2. Is that enough? With 3.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, well, North Melbourne, they haven't really even fired a shot this last quarter. It's only been in their forward half 30% of the time, and they've lost that dare, lost that overlap run. Everything that got them not just in the game, they were up by 28 points late in that third quarter, Ash. Everything that got them to that position, they've gone away from. They're going safe. They're scared to take it forward. Going forward to a 50-50 duck, that's okay. You can do that if you move it fast, get it in, but they're going slow, going backwards, sideways, and just allowing Collingwood numbers to get back, and then it's repelling the other way.
Being outmarked in their back half. Been some big marks. Pendlebury, Howe, taking some huge marks.
That's class by Sideball.
Right, clutch, isn't it? Clutch finish.
7 points now, Collingwood. They've kicked 5 in a row in this final term. Coleman Jones belted back in the path of Simpkin. Got a little soccer through. Scott went to ground. Lipinski didn't. Dribble it inside 50. Core, Hoskin, Elliott, Ginnivan. Absolutely taken high and nearly had his head ripped off.
That one is a free.
Core wants to keep going with it.
Could be 50.
Set on bloody sick of you. So all of this is taking time off the clock. 3 minutes left.
Whenever he gets it, there's definitely more venom with opposition players.
There's a few coming at him.
Yep.
And it's an interesting one. And
I wonder what his parents think. He's missed the footy.
He's missed 3 of those today, and he's been paid 2.
He's going to go high here to a marking player. There's lots of them in the air. Ground level, Hoskin Elliott flicked it to McCreary. There we are, Maces. Misses. 8 points, Collingwood.
So still in it. Need 2 goals. Need them quick. Collingwood have kicked 5 goals in this last quarter to 0 goals. Kick back into play, comes in quickly to Young. North have got to go, can't stop. Simpkin will get a free kick here, knock of the arms by Maynard. So Simpkin at half back. North Melbourne have effectively led all day.
Got to go. Got to take it through the middle of the ground. Take a risk.
Someone come at me, he says, I think a bit more off it than that. Pendlebury couldn't hold the mark. Coleman Jones was there. Anderson had a fresh airy. Picked up in the end by Crisp. His little kick went nowhere. Maynard, handball, searching for Dacos. Curtis Taylor outdid him. Slid the little handball back inside to Simpkin. Now they go forward. Zerha, smother, goes to Quainer and now Dacos.
I think she might be done. 2 minutes left. Core with a fist, but it's at the wrong end for the Kangas. They've got to kick 2 goals. Bitter pill for them to swallow. They've been in front pretty much all day. 45,000 in the house. And might have a blood rule, I think.
Simpkin coming up.
Jai Simpkin it is. So it'll be the Magpies' 7th, did you say, Ash, in a row?
7th consecutive win. They're only 1 game outside the top 4.
Yeah, 5th on the live ladder at the moment, JB.
That is a brilliant effort. Put my hand high and say I never saw Collingwood contending for the top 4. That is a fantastic performance. Craig McRae has really ignited this club. Greenwood tumbles it down the wing. Quainer with some good body heat. Curtis tried to get his way back onto it. Zerha went and found it, but he's taken over in front of the interchange gates. We've got 1:40 left.
So a boundary throw in here. Taylor Adams looking a bit groggy there.
Yeah, very groggy.
Straight off the bench. They're going to hold this up while he's within 3 metres of the bench. And Taylor Adams, as Duck picked up there, was very groggy and is still unsure where he is. And so this could mean that he is unavailable next week. Is that right, JC? Is that how he's gone to the rooms?
Might have gone to the rooms.
Pretty sure that's if they are suffering concussion.
Yeah, that is 12 days. He caught the leg of Zerha running past.
He did indeed, right in front of where Jay-Z's sitting. Here's Anderson. Anderson kick around the corner. What a comeback it's been. 5 last quarter goals. Incredible. Zerha now swings around on the right boot. High ball forward. Up they fly. Punch away by Murphy was exceptional. 1:21 remaining.
Got a score out of this. The Kangaroos. 5 in a row. Collingwood have ripped this one away from them. Inside forward 50. Almost clean possession there to Goldstein, and then he was held up. About 30 out from North's goal. Goldie down. Azebel couldn't handle it. Dacos ridden into the ground, and we're going to get another ball up 35 from home, but the seconds tick away. Heartbreaker for the Kangaroos. Did so much right in this game. Zerha, quick snap. McCreary came back on the footy. Might have been Murphy, actually. And it's over for a behind. So still 7 points with 55 seconds left. That had to go through. And even then, it was going to be problematic. Pendlebury will go to Cameron, you suspect. Goldstein's there as well. And big Mason Cox. Nice big clunker. 44 seconds left, 7 points the lead for Collingwood. It has been an unbelievable final term from them. A 5-goal final term. Anderson at the back. Just thumps it long down the line. Goldstein to come from behind here. Couldn't hang on. Maynard, it's busted out of his hands. Dacos. And now over the line. And we'll have it thrown in with 20 seconds left. They've done enough to win their 7th in a row, the Magpies. Davies-Uniacke has been unbelievably good. High ball inside 50. Larkey and Zerha. Oh, well done, Noble. Powell came in, flicked it to Larkey, who's kicked 5. He has a flying shot. Not going to get there. Zeeble can't hang on. Hits the behind post. Siren sounds. They've come from nowhere to beat the bottom team, Collingwood. Had to kick 5 in a row to do it. They win by 7 points.
Side by side they stick together to uphold the Magpies' name. See the barricades are shouting as all barricades shout. Oh, the premiership's a cakewalk for the good old Collingwood.
It had a sniff of that at three-quarter time.
Yeah.
They only needed to kick the first couple of that final term, and you could sense how nervous Duck North were going to get.
Yeah, you're right. It was a case of Collingwood, though, putting real pressure on. So North did start to fumble and not take the game on the way they did in the first 3 quarters, but Collingwood's pressure went through the roof. They were sitting at about 180 for the first 3 quarters, and then it went well over 200 in the last quarter, 206. So that went up. North being a little bit nervous, added up to Collingwood getting what was in the end a really close win, and one that's really important to them if they want to have any aspirations of finishing in the top 4. But North Melbourne, it's a massive step forward for them.
No, it's a proud day for the North Melbourne Footy Club. They bounced back. They looked like they played for each other. Let's go down to Still Side Bottom thanks to Fox Footy.
How did you do it?
I don't know. I think we've showed in the past that we really run games out. We didn't play our best footy today, but to show that kind of ticker, we never think we're out of it. So we just keep fighting, and eventually it pays off. And it's good to see. Wins are wins these days. It doesn't matter by how much, as long as we're banking them up.
You had a huge final quarter yourself, so did Scott Pendlebury, Taylor Adams. How crucial was the leadership of the experienced trio in the end?
Yeah, and to be honest, we probably lacked it a little bit in the first 3 quarters. So for the older guys to be able to stand up when it mattered and show the young guys the way a little bit is it's nice to see. So plenty of lessons to take from it, but really wrapped to be able to run the game out like that.
You did appear a little flat as a collective early on in the game. Was it just one of those days? What can you put your finger on?
I don't know. I'm sure we could probably point finger, but we probably just got beaten around the contest, and they're a really good stoppage team as well. So, I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm a bit... I don't know.
The tackle pressure of the team in the final quarter was superb. In particular, McCreary, it was manic. That kind of energy that you get. Explain what a lift when someone is that crazy for the ball.
Yeah, it is, and we highlight that every week. I'm sure if you ask opposition players who they don't want tackling, it's Beau McCreary. He's fast, he's strong, and he doesn't miss them as well. And as you said, when you see blokes pressuring like that, it gives everyone a lift and it gets everyone to jump on board. So he's doing a great job.
7 in a row. Well done. Go and enjoy it with the boys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks to Fox Footy. 5 unanswered goals in the final term to run down a 28-point deficit, and they're 5th on the ladder, Collingwood. They don't have a great percentage. That might cost them in the end, but they're certainly looking like they're going to entrench themselves in the 8. And 7 in a row is superb.
Yeah, no, if you're one of those teams anywhere inside that 8, this is a game or a day where you just got to find a way to win. Plenty of learnings to come out. They'll sort of treat this week or today as maybe a loss, Duck, but they're treating it as a loss, still taking the 4 points, which is really important for a club aspiring to play in the finals this year. So done extremely well. Let's go down. Are we going down to Nick Dacos? No, we're not going down to Nick Dacos. So just one of those days where important game to win. And North Melbourne, as I said, got to be proud of that effort.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Their next 2 for Collingwood, Adelaide at Adelaide Oval and Essendon at the MCG.
Homeloans.com.au, the triple MVP, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans.
Yeah, not tough to pick the best on ground today, but tough to pick the one voter. We changed our mind a few times, me and Ash, but one vote went to Nick Larkey today. I thought he was outstanding up there, and a guy that's much maligned in their losses. I know they've lost 14 in a row now, but he's got no ball inside 50 to him. So today had 19 disposals, 12 of them contested, kicked 5 goals in that third quarter alone, kicked 3 and was really up and about. 2 votes. I thought Scott Pendlebury, I thought his decision-making late, going inside 50, especially in that third term, was very good. And late just made right decisions at the right time. He had 23 disposals, plenty of intercept possessions there too, and 3 votes today. By a fair way, I thought he was best on ground easily. Luke Davies-Uniacke was outstanding. 33 possessions today, 12 clearances, which is a PB for him. 7 of those were centre bounce clearances, and we thought he probably should have had 8 because he got another one out of there he didn't get credited for, but he had 14 inside 50s as well. And just the way he can get a centre bounce clearance by a little handball out, but he was actually carrying or driving his legs out of the centre bounce stoppage, entering inside 50. So great day for him.
Some really good judges of that draft, and it was a good one too, with Rayner and Brayshaw and Shearer, etc., said that he was the best talent in that draft, and he might be starting to show it. It's taken a while. He's played 65 games now, Luke Davies-Uniacke, but he is high quality and something for the North fans to enjoy. There hasn't been much, but you got to celebrate Collingwood, Duck. 7 games in a row is I don't care who you're playing. That is a very good performance.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, just looking at Jeremy Howe on the Harvey Norman screen there, and that big collision.
Oh, that was huge.
That big collision, but he's 3 big marks in the last term. Pendlebury also took a big one. They were the crucial moments. They were the ones that you just had to bring that to ground. But Howe backs himself, we know that, and it was game-saving, in actual fact, Jeremy Howe, those marks.
Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/Fransurance, and you could win. This is the Amy Review. Around the grounds, Ash, we go from here to
Metricon Gold Coast taking on the Tigers.
All right, Liam Flanagan and the crew. Brett Thomas will do a great job with that. Richard Champion, Simon Black. Well done, Collingwood. Thanks to everyone here who've done a great job, including Massive Headed Onion, who's just filling in for Will and doing a very good job of that.
Why onion?
Well, look at the size of his Swede. It's as wide as it is high. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks, Saturday afternoon footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food